that is going to happen on this show. Some brand new software that is coming to the show. William has an amazing GPT that he has created for all of you people who are like me, going to be celebrating with friends this Valentine's. He has created a wonderful, wonderful GPT where that is concerned. I am super excited to show you guys what we have to offer where that is concerned. And, the Queen of Crafting, let me explain to you guys about something that the Queen of Crafting did. She had already shown us what she was going to bring to the show. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I made one. What is that? There's one more thing. What is that, Bob? That is Talya. She brought one more thing on to the show just right before we started. So, Talya, she's always coming up with things in her brain and like, you know what? I think I can do X, Y, and Z with that. So she has come up with that one more thing, and we're really, really excited for her to show you what she has. But before we get started, let's see, who shall we talk with? Miranda, you're back. How have you been? I see your animation behind you. What's been
I'm in the
going
process
on?
of changing it.
Yeah, what's been going on in your group?
Everything is going good. Actually, my certified vibe coding class starts tomorrow. It's the first of many. There are 6 days hands-on learning how to code, vibe code, and it is CPD accredited. So I'm excited about that. And then now I actually moved my digital front porch to a physical location as well. So I can do my digital and physical because I do sublimation and DTF. So now I have a kiosk in the mall, right front center when you walk in, and I'll do my physical products. And I have also on there all the AI and automation and web design and all the other stuff that I can do. So now when I'm working from home, I won't be tempted to take a nap because I'll be I'll be away from home. So it's very exciting, very exciting.
Okay, all right. I'm blown away. What made you decide to get the kiosk?
Because my daughter will be home within probably 7 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big change coming for our household with her being here, me teaching her how to be a mother. She's been in there for 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got the girls here that we are mom and dad. So their world is going to be changing. And I don't
Right.
want to have to go to a 9 to 5 deal being a boss because I was a boss there. I worked for Walmart for 18 years. I was a store manager for 8 of them, right? So it's a lot. So when you're
Yeah.
managing that big corporation and learning and teaching new things, and then you do home stuff, because now at 50, almost 51, Veda's been with us since she's 7 months old. She's five.
Mm-hmm.
5 and a half. So
Mm-hmm.
from going from us being empty nesters to now it's a girl. Oh, and by the way, the day she
Yeah.
got arrested, oh, by the way, they just found out I'm pregnant. So bam, we have two, right? So we went from empty to two pandemic babies. And I've been a mom since 15. So I have always been thinking about
Mothering.
the next step.
Yeah.
But then I've
Uh-huh.
always, even what Walmart taught us at Walmart University is if they gave you a note for something, you should have did that 2 weeks ago. So we're very proactive and thinking ahead of the game. And that's why I think my brain moves so fast. So I'm excited. I mean, there's no slowing down at all. And everybody has their reasons and their whys. And I know that early Alzheimer's is very pertinent in my dad's side of the family. He was diagnosed at 56. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important for me to keep my brain moving.
Active and moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to. But that's it. And I try to be a motivation for everybody else to say, hey, don't say I don't have time. Because if somebody doesn't have time, it's me. We're remodeling right now. Like I stopped painting to get on here because I got to keep moving. The girls were going for a week and we were constantly going this whole week. And now they're back and they coming in like, I like this new house. Can I help you? I'm like, use this. So it's just to keep on going. And then one more thing too, like being able to do this And everybody that knows me knows Veda. Emma's still too little to get in here. Veda loves
Yeah.
to create. And with her getting out of school at 2:30 every day, but the preschool doesn't get out until 5, she can come with me to this kiosk. And she has a workstation. I have a drawer set up for her with all her stuff. And she likes to create. Y'all know she knows how to prompt. She knows how to make her stuff. And that'll be good even for her to see the good part of, hey, if you want something, you got to work for it. She already told me she's saving her money for one of them big giant dogs for Valentine's Day. She saw one,
Oh
she's
yeah.
saving her money. So she has stuff items in my beacons. That's hers. That's her money. And so just teaching that to her is really my motivation because I'm not going to be here forever. And Lord forbid, my daughter don't act right when she comes home. We're what they got, and it's up to us to teach them how to be proactive for their future. That's it.
I mean, you're right. You have a lot going on between, the remodel itself is enough to send people into a tailspin. But you have the kiosks, the kids, you're preparing, you're getting ready. But I was thinking about something when you said that you were a store manager for 8 years, and if you ask and you get the no, you should have already prepared for that. That is such a corporate thing to do, right? Because I remember being able to anticipate what my boss's boss would
Yep.
want so that I would get the outcome that I wanted. So you're still doing that, but just doing that in a different way.
Yeah.
You're
And my
preparing
husband
your
says,
household.
why are you thinking negative? I'm not thinking negative. I said, I understand. I want the best things ever to happen, but I'm
Right.
going to be eyes wide open and be prepared for everything coming your way. I'm prepared to, when something comes my way, I know how to Mr. Miyagi it out, and flash it around because you have to be a problem solver. You have to be proactive. I don't want to have to put all these fires out. I want to go
But
ahead and
also,
yeah.
Miranda, I also have to let you know because you're a kingmaker, right? You're a kingmaker. You need to take the time for you to rest and relax as
Well,
well.
you know what? God does that for me because I have very severe anemia, and
Mm.
usually I have to go once a year for an infusion. Well, that's been usually it's not till July. Well, guess whose iron level's at a 3, so I have to go for an infusion. So that's God saying, hey, okay, well, you don't want to rest, I'm gonna make you rest.
But
So
you
I
don't want
have
to
to
get to
take
the point where you have,
no,
he makes you rest, Miranda. You need to put that into practice.
but see, painting this wall is that's my rest. I'm
Okay.
busy, but I can put my music on and I can paint, and me and my husband can talk and laugh and cut up, and I can paint, and it just adds a little bit of help to it now that they're home.
Okay.
It's
All right.
good.
I just want, I'm thinking about you because you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I know from myself personally, I have I put all these things together and then I need take time to
But
rest.
one more thing, Miss Regina, and I think I told Martine about it before. I learned that I can't do it myself. So I have a
Right.
good admin team that I can count on. And I
Oh,
also hire a virtual assistant to do things when I need it stuff to be done. And I have an admin that she helps me, like if I call her, she's there, and I compensate her for her assistance because I know that I can't do it by myself. Right. And I'm not afraid to get a virtual assistant to do things for me because I know where I'm going is big. What I've accomplished in the last 90 days, if I can do that in 90 days, what can I do now that I'm home all the time? Right.
right.
So, and it's not about chasing the dollar because if you get lost chasing the dollar, you lose your reasoning for why. The momentum, right? Because I always say
I
the devil
agree.
can make you rich and God can sweep it right on away. So I have to stay grounded in my faith and I have to stay grounded in my family. They come first. And my husband actually understands that now because he'll ask me every day, do you have a class today? Okay, well, I'll keep the kids quiet. He knows every day this week I'm hands on with my vibe coding class. So he knows at 6 o'clock, I'm going to have my laptop in the bedroom and he's got the kids that evening. So he
I love
understands
that.
now that this is not me playing on my phone, watching TikTok videos for fun, that anytime I am online, it is making money. It is income. It's making content to pay off in the long haul. Right. So he had to really understand that part of it.
Well, I love that you guys are working as a team and that he understands and that the girls are actually growing up watching you accomplish your goals, right? They're getting to see you accomplish your goal. I remember talking to Riley, and she said, "Oh, you're going live?" She knows that every time I go live, that I'm out doing things. She's never seen me do anything else, if you understand what I'm. She's only
Yeah.
seen me make money from my art. She's seen me go live. And for her, she tells her teacher every time, she's like, Riley, what are you going to do? I'm going to be an artist like Miss Regina.
Yep. And these girls, Veda has her little tablet and they get their
Right.
tablet time. And I'll watch her. She'll have her tablet and she'll set it up and she'll be playing with her Barbies and she'll be like, okay, guys, you have to do blah, blah, blah. Like she's teaching her audience how to do
Hmm.
stuff. She'll come and borrow my little phone holder, because I put Wi-Fi, I put something on my old phone, like her little
Yeah,
YouTube Kids and stuff. And she's playing, but she's working like I'm working. Right.
I
So
love
she's
it.
learning the right way to do stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Miranda, for having
You're
the
welcome.
conversation. For all of you guys who are brand new, we always open with what we call a community conversation. So if you are on, you may be called to talk, and it's nothing that's makes for you to be afraid of, but we just love to get people involved that are in this space. So we know what's going on with their businesses and what's going on with them, so we can keep in touch with them and know what they're working on, where they're going, and how we can possibly support them or someone in the community can support them. So, once again, thank you, Miranda. We really appreciate you. You are absolutely an amazing woman doing a lot of things with a lot of irons in the fire, and we want to see you win. All right. With that being said, thank you guys all for coming to Sundays with TRM. And if you don't know anything about us, we have this wonderful wheel that we have every single week. And the queen of the wheel is here. Miss Martine is here to talk about the wheel. So I'm going to hand it over to Martine so she can discuss the wheel so you guys can know what it's all about. Martine?
Good evening, good evening, good evening. And thanks again for coming to Sundays with TRM. Let me just check the chat. Do we have any newbies? If it's your first time on Sundays with TRM, let us know in the chat. If this is your very first time, let us know in the chat. Just say, I'm a first timer. I'm a first timer. I'm just going to check the chat real quick because that lets me know a little bit about what I need to say next. Oh, the wheel drama has begun. So, guys, if you noticed, hey, Miss Brenda, if you guys noticed, we definitely get passionate about the wheel, and it's because the wheel is how we deliver prizes each and every week from our panelists and from the team. So, all right, I don't see too many newbies. I'm going to keep it nice and short and brief. A couple of ways that you can get on the wheel tonight. The first way is by signing up on our email list. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to throw it into the chat. Put that in the chat. So that's one way. And that'll get you an entry on the wheel. The second way is by sharing the live. Now, a lot of you guys are veterans, so you know what I'm about to say. When we're talking about Facebook in particular, there are two key metrics. When we talk about lives, shares, and comments. So when people comment on the live, when they share the live, that helps the live to grow. And that is how we elevate the visibility of all of our panelists that are on each and every week. So in the Zoom, I'm going to drop that Facebook link. You're going to share the live. You can share it to your public groups. You can share it to your communities. Also, if you lead a Zoom, let me do that as well. I haven't talked about that in a couple weeks. If you lead a school, we would love for you to include our Zoom link on your school because it's a way for your school community to actually become panelists. All right, so inviting your community, folks who are doing great work every day, who want to get their products and services out there, they can come to Sundays with TRM. We will put them in the circle of love. So if you are a school or a school community leader, I also want to invite you to share the lives in your communities. And we would consider it an honor to be on your calendar, so that your folks know what this is about and how they can gain more visibility by being a panelist on Sundays with TRM. So, with that being said, I'm also going to drop in the link to become a panelist. So, if you want to be a panelist, I did see that we have several new entries. We'll be reaching out this week. So if you submitted an entry to be a panelist in the last, I would say maybe last month or so, be on the lookout. You'll be getting something this week. And we'd love to have you as a panelist. We want you to sign up to get those prizes. Did I cover everything, team?
Yep, I think that about covers
Think you
everything, Martine.
knocked it out.
All right.
No,
So
you
I
forgot to put a
will.
one in the chat.
Oh,
I forgot to put a one in the chat. You're amazing, William. You're amazing. That's funny. So I'm going to drop in to become a panelist. So if it has been on your mind, you've been thinking about it, we want you to become a panelist. So after you share tonight's episode, become a panelist so we can share out the good work that you're doing.
I love that. As you were talking about placing it into the school community, what it does is it brings in more people to your school community. They get to view what's going on with TRM. They see that you're at TRM, and the more you help your community, the more your community will help you. So I'm super excited to see what you guys are going to do with those shares tonight because Martine loves to see when the names are like so small you can't even read them. She absolutely loves to see that, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight with you guys sharing. But with that being said, I'm going to hand it back over to Martine because we have a special guest that's here. That if you are, if I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about her summits, but she is here to talk about that, and we are here to ask her a lot of questions about what she is doing with her business and how she moves in this space of AI with women with midlife. We are excited to have her come up. So, Martine, if you could go ahead as I bring her up, go ahead and bring Brenda on up so we can have a conversation with her. I see her there she is.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hey, thanks so much, Brenda, for coming on in. We appreciate you taking the time. Man, I've been
Thanks.
super excited. I think Brenda and I spoke back in December, or even late November about her coming on. So it's definitely a pleasure to be able to have this conversation with you and our community about the great things that are happening in all of your communities, really.
Thanks.
Before I begin,
Yes.
so we're gonna do a couple things. So I'm gonna read your bio because that's just what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna have we do have some questions. We won't pepper you with a ton, but we've got a few things that we're gonna ask you about just to kind of pick your brain. And then if time allows, then we will allow our audience to ask you a few questions if we have some time at the end. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, great. All right, so let me clean my reading glasses a little bit. Get my reading glasses straightened out. All right, let's see. Brenda believes midlife women are the most powerful leaders in business. I agree. After 27 years scaling multi-million-dollar brands and advising CEOs, a life-changing divorce inspired her to rebuild her career on her own terms. Now she coaches women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond to create aligned, freedom-first businesses that generate consistent 10K months. Through her coaching programs and the Aligned AF community, Brenda helps midlife entrepreneurs turn their expertise into work that feels both profitable and deeply fulfilling. I love all of that, and I can't wait to be part of that 10K month team.
Yeah, it feels good when it comes in for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
Well,
know
thanks
that
for
feeling.
having me. It's great to be here.
Of course. We're glad you're here.
Well, Brenda, I was looking at a lot of things that you have been saying as far as helping women that are in their 30s and 40s move from corporate America and
Mhm.
not starting from zero.
Right.
That they already have the skills that are within them. So, can you tell us how you did that, starting from zero, and how you help the people that are in your community do the same?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think first of all, like we have to sort of think about this like beautiful intersection at midlife. I mean, depending on sort of where we are in the world and what we're up to, we're either looking after human beings, those could be people on our teams, in our household. Miranda was sharing some lovely stories about what's, happening in her world and her life. And I think that's not dissimilar to like many of us, right? We could also be caring for aging family members. So we're just at this intersection where a lot of people count on us. And we've also built up this leadership, right, in our communities that we want to be counted on. We want to show up and we want to, have an impact. And so whether or not that's like big stages or over Zoom calls, I think, one of the things that was really revolutionizing for me when I left corporate was that I thought that I had to start all over again. And, I mentioned, or Martine mentioned in my bio that I was also going through my divorce at the time, and I was raising two teenage daughters that are now like emerging adults. And so I thought, well, I'm going to have to start all over. And like a lot of us have done that already, like I came back from two maternity leaves. After, being off on maternity leave for a couple of years, I had a recruiter. When I left, I was a director making over 100K. And when I was planning on coming back, the recruiter said, well, we could probably get you a coordinator job at like 45K, and I was just like, what? I've been working for 12 years. I just went off and had babies for 2 years. Like, I'm fine. My, like, like my brain is still there. Like, what's the deal? It's like, and so, I almost felt like I had to kind of do that again, leaving corporate. And so much of us get pulled into, if we're course creators or coaches, we have to get coaching certifications. And once we got one, we got to get up the next one and we got to get senior coaches. And I'm like, yeah, but I also was managing teams of people before I left corporate. I was like a COO. I had 25 people in my department, managers, directors that were all reporting into me. If I wasn't coaching, like nothing was getting done. And so I didn't necessarily need 25 more certifications, but yeah, I still did that. I still went down this like coaching route and nothing knocking us for going out there and getting additional education. But I think there's a point where we have to also just look in the mirror and be like, hey, you know what? I'm like 35 years old. I'm 45 years old. I'm 55 years old. I've led maybe family owned businesses. I've led corporate departments. I've managed my own family. I've maybe managed my like parents' wealth management because now they are depend, they're relying on me to do these things. I have these leadership skills that I can like go forward and teach other people. I think the other thing that's also happened is in the online space, before it used to be like, well, if you had a passion around something, like if you had a passion for ice cream, well, it's going to be kind of tough to like everyone's going to be like successful as an ice cream parlor. But like in the online space, and especially with AI, if you have a passion for something, you can monetize that fairly quickly now with the world of AI. And, with platforms like School, they're, building these easy to use platforms for entrepreneurs that you don't necessarily need to have the massive funnels and the tech stacks and and hiring all the team members to help assemble this and integrate it. So what used to take months and even years to even mobilize an online business is now taking like days and weeks. And I'm not exaggerating. Like when I moved over to school last year, I thought, oh, it's probably going to take me a month or two. I'll move my community over and my mastermind group over. I had it up and running in 4 days. And I was like, okay, everybody, I know I told you we were going to come over here in 2 months. Like we're coming over here this week. like it was like, it's ready to go. And I think that's where, so if you're sitting here listening to this and you're thinking, oh, it's going to take me 6 months, a year to kind of build out my offers and build up this big audience, I think School is opening the doors to, really making that possible within the span of a month, 2 months that you could be doing that. And that's what I was trying to really prove out this past year by launching summits. You had mentioned that I was doing summits on School, and that's really where I wanted to take like a model that had been working in the online space quite well. And a lot of, colleagues of mine were running summits, bundles, virtual conferences. But again, having to do it off of a platform and then integrating all these other tech stacks to it, and they would report back. I'd listen to sometimes their debriefs and they'd be like, yeah, I brought in 500, $900. And I'm like, okay, like that's good for you. But I'm like, can we do higher? Can we do better? And that's what I wanted to kind of prove out this year on school was like, okay, let's take a regular everyday online traffic building practice like summits and put it on school and see what we can do. And that's where I was able to take it from, yeah, like when we first started, it was, yeah, brought in like 900 people and probably monetized it and brought in like $1,500, $2,000. But by the time we worked through it all and worked through some of the loopholes this fall, we ended up running two summits and generating $45,000 between the two of them. So
Wow.
Wow.
that was a long spiel, but I just kind of wanted to kind of set the context that I think like some of those um, status quo processes that we have out there in the online space, I think when you partner it up with school, it really kind of makes you rethink your strategies for 2026. So for me, I'm going all in on summits on school.
I love that. I think the thing that I love the most is that you said that you took something that you thought was going to take you 30 days to do. You're like, hey, we're going to move this week. We're moving this week.
Yeah.
So when you are putting that structure together, um, what did you think that, when it changed over from just having it be 30 days versus 1 week? How were you able to conceptualize, oh, I've got to move faster?
Well, it actually wasn't moving faster. It was just like stripping things out. I think,
Okay.
like in the online space, and I still see it on Instagram, there's still some of the gurus that I follow where they're like, okay, let's sit down and build out our offers and then figure out our launch strategy and then figure out how we're going to convince people to buy our offers. And I'm like, it doesn't like it did work, but it's not working anymore. And what I see happening is we're exhausting ourselves by creating all this stuff and then trying to sell it to people. Versus what school has done is it's inverted the model and said, no, no, build the community, and we'll even help you do that. If you have a free community on school, we're going to drive traffic. 40% of schools' traffic is going to free communities. And so you're going to get people joining your community. All you need to do as a host is ensure that, like the appetizers are out, right? Like you got to make sure this, like you're the host of this amazing party that you're cultivating in your school community, and you got to make sure it's engaging. And really, you don't even have to engage 100% of the community. It's really the top 10%. If you can get them engaged so that they now become leaders in your community, they will mobilize the others to keep
Hmm.
coming back, right? They're going to build affinity and be like, hey, you know what? I really like Martine. I really like Talya. Like, I'm going to come back and like see what they have to say this week. It's not just all about Brenda. And so then you've got this community that's being building, and then you can ask them, hey, what do you need right now? Like you guys came here because you wanted A. How much of A do you want? Do you want it like this way? Do you want it this way? And they'll tell you. And then you just give them that. So I'm not saying you just go in totally blank slate, but I think in the past it would have been like, oh, I'm going to build up this offer for the next 6 months in the dark room. And I may survey a couple people and stuff like that and see if I'm on the right track. And then I'm going to go through this massive launch and run ads or, hustle my way, live launches, all those type of things. And now what I'm doing is I'm more like, okay, I'm going to create this vehicle for you to come in, i.e., summits. I'm going to actually not even create the content myself. I'm going to give the microphone over to 60 to 80 speakers in the span of 3 days. And somewhere in there, you're going to get like hooked into this, vibe that we're creating in the summit community. And then after that's done, I'll say, hey, is there anything else that you need? And if so, here you go. Here's an offer. Here's an offer. Here's an offer. And you build it based off of who's there and what they need at that point in time.
So I've got a bit of a follow-up question.
Yeah.
When you think about this process, what are some mindsets or like habits that you felt like you've had to build to really snowball into these successful summits?
Um, Outreach. So in the past, it would have been someone coming to my Instagram, me in the DMs going, "Hi, Sally, how are you?" You know, nurture, nurture, but like, would you like to buy my product? So again, trying to sell them directly versus by being a part of other school communities. So it's outreach. And then I guess I would say is being a good member in other people's communities. So the communities that I'm in, I want to be a good member. I want to contribute. Obviously I joined their community because there's again some type of affinity. Their mission values are somewhat aligned to my mission values. And so then it feels natural for me to come in there and just be Brenda and share my beliefs around things or share what I'm doing in my world, in my life. And hopefully that resonates with that audience. And trust that in community, people will be like, hey, you know what? I really like what Brenda had to say. I'm going to go check her out. I'm going to go check out her profile. Oh, she's got a free community. Oh, and her free community's got a summit coming up in 5 weeks and it's on AI. And, she was talking about AI and, so it's like it brings people in that way. It's a little bit of sort of like outreach and be a good member and trust the universe that people will come your way. Versus I found like, maybe early days of social media, you had that too, but it would just be, again, now I have to go and get you into my funnel. You have to download a freebie. You have to get into my funnel. I have to nurture you there and again, convince you to buy something. Versus people can join your free community like that and then be in that ecosystem, being nurtured by you and those, top 10% leaders that are in your community.
I love that. Thanks for that.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
fun. So, I mean, like a practice around outreach for me is I spend probably about an hour and a half every morning going into my community, responding to comments in my community. And I try not to be the first responder. I want to be in there maybe like 24, 48 hours. I don't want to go too long. I don't want this person hanging and then think I'm never going to post again. So I want to make sure that they still feel like they're connected to something. But I'm hoping that the other people in the community will jump in there first and answer their question or, echo their response. And then I go into other communities. I read posts. I want to give a genuine comment. I'm sure there's lots of times where I could be like awesome content, but if it doesn't resonate with me and I actually don't have an opinion on it, I typically don't comment. I go to the ones that I know that I can actually add some value, and comment. And I'm not there to provide rebuttal or my way's better. It's just more like, hey, here's another perspective, or I want to back you up because you're doing the right thing. Sorry, my dog's talking to me. So, um, yeah, so I mean, I spend like about an hour and a half doing that, and then also posting content in my communities. And I've got three on school, so by the time I work through all of them, it's about an hour and a half.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I'm gonna speak from someone who is a midlife professional
Hmm.
who is sitting around waiting for permission to pivot, right?
Yeah,
I know that you emphasize not waiting for permission or perfection. And we
yeah,
struggle with that coming from a corporate background. So,
sure.
why is the mindset shift so critical? And how do you help women break out of that cycle of not wanting to go ahead and launch or
Yeah, I mean, I
just
think there's
jumping out there?
like not to get too sciencey, but I think that there's some element of like neuroscience and understanding how our brain likes things to be comfortable. It wants a predictable outcome. It wants ease. When there's a struggle, obviously we feel that tension in our neck or our jaw or wherever it tends to show up in our body, right? Or our stomach, or our face turns red, or whatever those signs are, those tells that we have. And I think so. It's like paying attention to that our brain likes the comfort. But action, like to get out of that sort of comfort zone, taking action daily, even if it's like little iterative steps. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to complete this like 11-month strategy plan by Friday. It's like just taking iterative steps every single day to move forward. Well, just tell your brain it's okay. Like you're fine. Like you're not going into the lion's den. It may feel like that because I don't know, you're posting your first reel on Instagram or you're doing your first Zoom call with a client. And so it feels like nerve-wracking. But that's only, I sort of look at it, that's my nervous system at least telling me that I'm alive. So like, and it's good to kind of test your nervous system a little bit. Like our body is designed for stress. And I know that there's a lot of communication out there in the business world and online, and there's a lot of coaches that talk about burnout and overwhelm, but our body is actually programmed for stress. It's designed like through the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system to respond to waves of stress. But what agitates it more is when we're in this comfort zone and then we do something radically different, then it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. So me, it's like just taking like daily iterations of doing something radically different. And that could be going back to what I was saying earlier about outreach. Like maybe I'll join a new community today and I'll put myself out there and I'll introduce myself to the community. And yeah, no one responds and I'll get crickets and that's big and scary. And my brain's thinking like it reminds me of when I was, I don't know, 7 years old and not picked for the softball team or something like that. But you know, it's going to be okay. You're going to survive. And so I think that's it also comes back to our business and putting offers out there is it used to be, I think, big and scary designing this big offer and then going out there and selling it. But the nice thing about now monetizing your experience on school is that all you need to do is build community. Like just talk to people. And if you like people and you know, that's ultimately what you're in service is as a service provider is to engage with people, then just do that and do that really well in your communities and the communities that you're on in school. And then share your offers. So, you know, that's where I think taking action and just being in community with people, you can make that pivot and start selling your offers fairly quickly.
Oh, so you were speaking directly to me. I understand. Okay, thank you.
Was I okay? Well, thanks for asking the question.
Well, the thing that I realized after, like I said, I did a little bit of research on you and your communities and your business. You have a really great ability to help women stay in alignment and figure out their alignment as far as their businesses are concerned.
Mhm.
Um, when you started your business, how did you figure out your alignment? Because I know there's a lot of women that are out there that are looking for that particular fit, and we're using school. And you've already said that we're doing the things. We're engaging with our audience, and we are putting up the challenges, but they feel a little bit out of alignment. So
Mm.
how did you figure out your alignment and how you run your businesses?
Yeah, I mean, there's three things that I think go into becoming aligned. One is your vision for your life, and your life incorporates your business, your relationships, your health, your wealth, your community impact. So it's like kind of all these different domains or factors that contribute into your life. And you know, this is, I think, breaking away from that sort of corporate mentality. Because when I worked in corporate, it'd be like, oh, all about our strategy plan. And but it was one organization that I worked with years ago where we were a North American restaurant chain, and the average employee age was somewhere between 18 to 22, right? Bartenders, servers, a lot of college students working there part-time. And we were going through a massive restructuring change in the organization. And one of the things that I would talk about with the ownership team is, you know, how are we going to get 5,000 18-year-olds to like buy into this, right? Like we're changing the food, we're changing the decor, we're changing everything. And so one of the things that we did is instead of just rolling out some new strategy plan and training program and making everybody drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak, we actually taught them how to create vision, values, and goals for their life. And we enabled them to be able to set goals around, okay, what is the vision for your life? Well, I'm 18, Brenda. I don't know what my vision is. Well, let's figure that out. You know, and even it's like the next 5 years. Well, that's like maybe going through university or college or, you know, paying off, you know, a student loan or whatever that, like, what's your vision for your life? And then what are the values that are really important for your life? And we don't need to have like 13 or 15 values, like two to four, so that we can make decisions. Should we go left today? Should we go right today? And if you've got like this whole like matrix of like value systems that you have to work through, you're never going to make a decision. And you're going to get stuck. So if you have two or four that you can just make a decision on today, and if it's not the right decision, fine, make a decision tomorrow. Like you just keep making decisions, right? Keep being in action. And then the last part is goals. And, you know, again, for maybe an 18-year-old, setting out 10-year goals seems like a little daunting. But that also could be the same case for a midlife woman that's just about to go through their divorce or become an empty nester. It's like, I don't know what the next 10 years are going to look like. Great, set 3-year goals for your life, your business, your relationships, your health, your wealth, and go through all of that. So when we did that in the restaurant, that really sort of symbolized to me, it's like when people understand what their purpose is, now you give them like our organizational purpose, they're going to choose whether or not they're in alignment. And we could tell like some people have been with the company for like 20 years and they came to us and said, it's not for me anymore. And we're like, okay, what do we need to do to help you land softly, like in your next job? Like, and we didn't like force people out and we didn't give massive severance packages. Like some people said, you know what, I'm gonna leave in maybe 18 months. And we're like, great, like let us know what you need. References, career coaching, like what is it you need? Um, but I think, it helped people. And a lot of people even came to us. Like we had one chef that had been with us for years and he was like 68 and he's like, I really love this whole experience. Like for me, now is my time to like launch my food truck business. And we're like, awesome. Like, how can we help you with that? So it was just I sort of took that experience when we did that for the organization that I was working with into my own business was just if I'm going to build something, I want to be doing this for a while. And because that was the thing when I was in corporate still as my CEO job, I was sitting at my desk going, I have to do this for another 25 years. Like, no, thank you. And so when I was building my business, I was like, I want to be doing this when I'm 70, 75. It might not be to the degree on which I'm working now. Um, but that's the thing, as long as you're clear on your vision, your values and goals, and you can articulate your purpose, and then it will evolve as things in your life evolve. So,
Martine?
Yes, I think where I was looking for my mute button.
yeah.
So I love how well you communicated that, but I know, at least for my experience, sometimes it feels like ugly, messy. Like I like this journey to alignment, especially I started my school back in July after like kind of having to stop having my own like mid moment and going, what are you doing?
Mhm.
What are you gonna do to help people? And so uh, we met with the group this morning, this afternoon. And I was telling them, I was like, I've had several wild weaving roads to like get to what I'm doing now. So my question is how have you found like working through the messiness and then
Mhm.
also like being able to talk to your community about the messiness that comes with moving yourself into true alignment and purpose in your work?
Yeah. If I'm okay saying this, let's reframe messiness as in like evolution.
Mm,
I think the reality is like when we say messiness, then it may be like, and I've been there where I judge myself, right? That, oh, I didn't
mm-hmm,
get it right the first time, or I thought this was going to be the way it was, or I thought I was going to get this result versus like if I knew exactly what it was going to be, that means like I have a crystal ball. I can, foretell the
mm-hmm,
future. I might as well like, go buy a lottery ticket because I'm going to be like really lucky then. So for me, it's like I sort of work on more like evolution. Like where I was 7 years ago when I started my business is totally different. Like I was consulting, I was still kind
mm,
of like a fractional COO. And then I made a pivot change as I was going through like perimenopause and seeing even some of the executives that I'm still working as a fractional CEO struggling with. And I'm just like, why don't we just like embrace all of it? Like in the sense of, okay, I'm a CEO of my business. This is what I want my business to look like. Yeah, there's messy parts, meaning like I have insomnia, like hair loss, whatever. Like I don't want to show up on Zoom today. But design my business around that versus, oh, this is a messy part. And so I'm not going to do these things or I'm going to turn off my business. This happens quite a bit. Like I hear this sometimes from my clients. Oh, dad got sick and so I can't do my business. And I'm not trying to sound like not empathetic to the fact that dad got sick and you got to deal with whatever you got to deal with. But how can we design businesses that when like dad will get sick, mom might get sick, your child may, I don't know, have a big thing going on in school. Like this is life. This is the messy bits. But the reality is I want to see women have continuing monthly recurring revenue in their business. And what I saw in my life as my daughters were going through stuff, or I was like, I don't know, navigating something with my ex-husband around something, is that I would stop. Like my business would stop. And so what I try and help midlife women with is like, how can we have this continuity with our business? And even going back to like, say, the example with school, I don't have to necessarily be the center point of my school communities anymore because 10% of the leaders that are in my community can run things through. Like I used to feel guilty, like, oh, if I wasn't in my school community today posting something, it's all just going to crumble. Like I wasn't in there at all this weekend. And like people are posting and talking and chatting. And I'm like, you guys don't need me. This is cool. So I think that's where let's embrace the messy bits, but let's also like just package it under evolution. And there's going to be times where you're going to be really needed in your business and other times you won't. And you can have things run on auto. You can respond to the 911 call because you got to go to the hospital and take care of dad. Like it's going to be that way in our business. And like I didn't worry about those things so much in my career in my 20s. Like you had other things like, what club you were going to go to on Friday night, right? But like that may have been like the stressor point after work or something. Like it's just so different now, right? And so I think like this goes also back into sort of like designing my vision, values, and goals. Like I even had a call with my dad, like we were chatting this morning over breakfast. I was over at their place and like he's like, yeah, like, most likely in the next 10 years, I probably won't be here. And I'm like, well, Dad, don't talk that way. And I'm like, no, but let's talk that way because actually let's figure out what that's going to look like. And I was like, okay, so 10 years, what does that mean? And that's built into my 10-year vision. And I don't want to make it sound morbid, but it's just like, yeah, there's going to be some point or another where I'm going to be called and I'm going to have to like drop everything. And can my business function? And can I still get monthly recurring revenue coming in? So those are some of the things that I challenge myself with. And I see sort of like, yes, there will be the messy bits, but we can evolve our businesses, we can evolve ourselves and have like more of that resiliency to overcome some of those things. And it's good conversations, I think, to ask in our communities, right? Like, how do you overcome some of these things? How do you work through them?
Well, and I think also just um, being honest with yourself and when they're happening. I was talking to a group earlier today, and I was just telling them like there were a couple times early in my school journey where I had to just say, "Hey, I'm too tired to do this."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those were some of my more early on, some of my more engaged posts because people are like, yes, take that break. Yes, take a breath.
Mhm.
And also to your 2%, we had some people in that group that was like, I got you while you're gone. So I do
Yeah.
see that
I
there's
love
a lot
that.
of value, but I love this thought of evolution and evolving while also recognize like part of the evolution is all the challenges that come with doing this thing called life. So thank you for giving me that new word because I'll be using that a lot as I work with my clients.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too, actually, myself as well.
Yeah.
So for any of the women who are listening that are in the 40s and their 50s and they're thinking that it's too late to start a business, what advice would you give them to encourage them to go ahead and take that leap?
Yeah. First of all, like short answer is no, it's not too late. And then secondly, it's, build it around what you love doing, right? I think you can, like I said, or I said this earlier, it's like I think it's a lot easier now to productize your experience, productize your passions. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to build like the brick and mortar store. I mean, yes, if you want to go make cupcakes, right? And you want to have a bakery and go do that. But I think um, again, starting with your vision, values, and goals. Like when I started my business 7 years ago, and I'm just almost coming up to like my 10-year vision because I wrote it in like seven when I was going through my divorce and my kids were still like in middle school, almost getting into high school, is that I wanted to design a business where I could like work anywhere. And I could work anywhere, anytime. I could, turn it off. Money would be coming through. And it wasn't like that in year one. So kind of going back to Martine's point about like the messy parts and the evolution, like, because I didn't know what that was going to look like. But I set that vision 7 years ago so that by year 10, I would be like in this like fully autonomous business and I could work from anywhere. Because I also was talking with my girls, and they're like, "Well, we're going to go away to university, Mom." Like, I live on the west coast of Canada. They live on the other side, like just like above New York and Chicago area. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to travel to see them. And there's a high probability that they may actually also stay out there after university, right? They might meet their partners out there, their jobs might be out there, internships, all those type of things. So it's like, I'm gonna have to travel. And what I was doing in year one of my business, no, I was like fractional COO. I had a desk in clients' offices. Like, so, but I didn't stress about that. I was just like, yeah, I've got 10 years to build this. And so I think that's the timing piece, right? Like just set that vision for yourself. Like, what do you want it to be? Don't worry about it if it's not year one perfect, right? That's that perfection and not starting until it's perfect. Like, yes, by year 10, that's ideally what I want my business to be is that I could be like literally working in southern France somewhere, right? Like on a lawn chair at a beach, taking Zoom calls with my clients and my members in my community. And I'm at year 7, and I'd say I'm probably like 80% there. Partly because I have a 12-year-old golden retriever that's sitting beside me, right? So I can't, she won't go on a plane to southern France with me. So I got to stay a little bit more local for her. Or unless I get, one of my kids to look after her, then I can go to southern France. But it's like, so I've got still some dependencies. And not that I'm like wishing her to go, but anyways, it's kind of like, so that's the thing is like, I think like, don't wait for perfection, set that vision for what you want. Year one is going to be not your vision, but it's going to be year one of your 10-year vision. It's all going to work together.
I
Absolutely. I'm
love
ready to
that.
cruise with Regina. So yes.
Okay, cool.
That's
I'll be
right.
there.
I love that. I'm on the other side. So I have a 26-year-old, but I also have a 12 and a 10-year-old.
Wow.
And so I'm in so I'm saddling
You're like sail fishing
minorhood.
there.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. So I know that my 10 years is going to look these next 10 years is gonna look it's gonna have a lot of life changes really across all these different age groups. Um but what makes me excited is to know that I can kind of land this vision. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the 7 years, like it's taking the years to get there. Sometimes I get a little worried kind of with there's no one more excited about AI than me. However, I still feel that the business of AI and what it's going to take to grow and build something that I can depend on, that I can almost guess that it'll be where it needs to be most of the time is going to
Mhm.
take time. So thank you for just kind of laying that out for us. That this is something that you built and that it has evolved. Now, what I think is the greatest highlight is evolution are your summits. These summits are the coolest thing that I've seen in a while. And I know that you have your AI driven business summit coming up because I'm going to be speaking at it.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I'm super excited about that. But I wanted to know a little bit about like what was the kind of start of that? And what do you think about what it's become? You had 60 plus speakers last time. I'm not sure about how many you have this
Yeah, we're
time,
gonna
but
have over 80 speakers this time.
ooh, wee, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's gonna
I like
be
it a lot.
gonna be busy. Yeah, so the impetus was actually this time last year in, well, 2024. So fall of 2024. Um, or yeah, December, like winter of 2024, going into 2025, went to my community and said, okay, so I talk a lot about lead generation and how to get leads and how to, nurture your audience and then convert more sales. Those are kind of like the 3 steps that we would always talk about but like, what do we need to be doing in 2025? Because do we want to just continue to talk about that? And I can just give you more trainings and more tools, like, or do you want to do it? Like, do you want to actually like do lead generation together? And, that could be like running ads together. And I would say now that I'm probably more of an expert in ads, but at the beginning of 2025 on Meta, I used to outsource my ads to an agency and I was just starting to bring them in-house. And so I was kind of learning it and I'm like, I'll tell you what I'm doing, but I don't think like I want to be the expert in showing you guys how to do ads yet. Like I'll goal myself to be there in 2026 and then I'll show you. So then it was like, okay, well, what else could we do? And I was already doing summits and bundles, like I mentioned before. With other colleagues that were running it. And I was just like, yeah, this is good. I got like 50 people joining my email list. Awesome. 75% of them bounce after they get the freebie. this is fine. Um, but I was just like, what could we be doing? And so I thought, like, let's try running a summit on school. And we just did it with the community members that wanted to be a part of it. So it was small. And we got some people. We brought, like, we started a new community and we brought in probably about 500 people. And then we did another one in June. And then I went to my mentor, Evelyn Weiss, who some of you may know on school. She's done like an amazing job as far as growing memberships and stuff and won school games. And now she runs the ad campaigns for school at large for the organization. And so I went to her and I said, okay, like I figured out the logistics of the summit, but we still don't necessarily have like I want it to be like a bang. Like I want to like literally knock people's socks off. Like how am I going to do this? And so Evelyn and I talked about it. Initially, I was just going to do what I called like an aligned AF summit, where it's like we talk about life, business, health, wealth, all these things, and have all these different types of speakers. And then she's like, no, 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 we got to pull it back. And so we started doing some research. And that's where we just said we need to like blow the top off of AI and really AI in the coaching space because there was this undercurrent like if you went into like Reddit or Perplexity or any of like sort of like the more chat based even on LinkedIn that AI was going to replace life coaches or AI was going to replace people in the coaching world that you could actually be coached by chat GPT, which you can sometimes. It's kind of fun. But anyways, and so we wanted to kind of say this is going to potentially happen, not to scare people and be like fear mongers, but more like if this happened, how are you going to stay relevant, coaches, with AI? And so that's where we took the first AI summit was like you need to think about being relevant because yeah, you could be replaced. And that's not a threat. It was just more and any job could be replaced. It's called technology and people used to make hand knit sweaters and now they're making it by machine. That was like the 1800s. So, it's like we will evolve as human beings, whatever platforms or whatever tools are. But we wanted to kind of have this sort of like zeitgeist, like friction topic to get people like thinking, oh my gosh, like all the fears that I do have about my coaching or my course creator business are true. And here's a summit that's saying this is what I should do about it and I should get ahead of it. And so, yeah. And then we just like threw a bunch of ads on it and brought a bunch of people. And Evelyn brought in people that she knew, and I brought in people that I knew. And together, there was like 60 people that signed up to be speakers. And it was 3 intense days, and it was super fun, and people didn't know what to expect, and it was on school. And then, yeah, and we brought in 4,500 people in the span of 3 weeks. And then it was kind of like, well, Brenda, what are you going to do with this next? And I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to run a summit. And so then it was like, okay, let's evolve it into a community. So this goes back to that whole evolution piece. Like you don't have to have it all figured out and all mastermind out. And even if you do, it might actually not turn out to be that. And so, for me, it was like, let's just get the summit done. And then people during the summit are like, what are you going to do, Brenda? What are you going to do? Like, how are you going to monetize this? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like barely like eating, sleeping, breathing right now because it was just 3 intense days with all these speakers. And then after that was done, then I was like, okay, on to the next phase. Let's make this a community. Let's monetize this. Let's get people over to my paid community. Let's run another summit in another community. And so then we ran one in November and we did the same thing, less time, and we brought in another like 4,000 people. And then it was just like everyone's like, we got to run another summit. And people are like, I want to be, how can I sign up? Get the application going, Brenda. I'm like, okay, okay. So it was just like, it just kind of snowballed from there. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to commit to doing 6 summits in 2026. So we started our first one with the AI Summit in February, and then we've got another one in March. Not AI, but like a different topic. And it's just kind of like, sort of it's actually easier to do them back to back, like do one in February and one in March, and then take like April, May off, and then do them like June, July, and just do them back to back. So that's how we've got them set up this year.
Well, I'm super excited. This time I'll be in the one in this February.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be doing 5 things that every business person needs to know about as it relates to Canvas. I'm super excited. We do have a couple of other speakers in the chat, so I want to make sure I took just a moment to shout
Yeah.
them out. Janae Trevelyan, she's going to be one of the speakers,
Yeah.
and
Brenda
I
has been a
saw
speaker in the past.
she has. Yep, she's in the chat as well. I want to say Valerie Smith. There she is. Yep.
Valerie, yeah,
Yes,
Valerie's
Yep,
gonna
Valerie.
Valerie
Valerie's a
Smith as
speaker.
well. So y'all keep the love going to both of them, guys. If you have your speaker titles, go ahead and put that in the chat. And then, guys, if you want to be in on this, on you don't want to miss this. So, I dropped the link in the chat so that you can join the community because that is where the action is. Brenda has a great process to become an engaged member. She spent much of this evening talking to us about being an engaged member. So it's definitely a space where you're going to want to go in, you're going to want to be an engaged member, and you're going to take away twice as much as you pour in when you navigate that way. So I'm going to drop it in the chat one more time so
Mhm.
that you guys have it and so that you guys are in the space. Valerie's topic is AI art prompt essentials. Ooh. Oh, and let's see. Janae's topic is baddie prompt Penny, those are great topics. I love it. Okay, that's great. Okay, let me stop because I'm getting a little too excited, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I love it.
let.
Well, it's super fun doing it on school too because I think people right away that haven't been on school, it's like their first introduction, so it's just like a really exciting event. And I know some people talk about doing leader challenges. I like doing leader challenges too, but sometimes for me, this goes back to the whole design your business around your midlife experience. I just find it's like it's too intensive. It's like 7, 10 days. Like I can't give that much energy. And even when we run the summit, sometimes people are like, "Can you like stretch this out to 5 days? It's too intense at 3." And I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way I can give that much energy. Like 3 days tops." And then I'm like, I'm out. And then I gotta sleep. So I think that's the thing is like you just design it around what you can do, what your capacity is. People will take what they need to take. It's okay. I used to always be worried about like disappointing people and I got to show up. But that's like also part of being, I think, a midlife entrepreneur is that you got to be able to set boundaries and design a business around like what gives you energy. If it sucks the life out of me, I'm not into doing it anymore. So yeah, and I think like members, clients can feel that as well, right? So when you're pushing something that doesn't feel necessarily aligned to you. But that said, there's like that fine balance between not taking any action, right? Because you're like, oh, it doesn't feel aligned. It's like aligned, being aligned is not an excuse for not taking action. It means you're still taking action. So,
Oh my gosh, Brenda, that was such said aligned is no excuse for not taking any action. I
yeah.
think all of us need to have that on a t-shirt and on a mug, sitting on our desk as we get ready to do things during the day. But I do have a question for you.
Hmm.
Now that you have gone through and had this wealth of knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to your 40-year-old self?
40-year-old self,
Hmm.
um, get divorced sooner. No, I'm just joking. It's okay. If my kids
That's
are
all
listening, they'd be
good.
like, yes, mom, do that. No,
You're all good. Somebody needs to hear that. It's all good.
it's all good. Anyways, I'm being punchy right now. 40-year-old self. Yeah, well, actually start your goals sooner. Because I think for me, again, like I left corporate when I was 47, got divorced when I was 48. Sorry, I'm just gonna open the door for my dog.
Hmm.
Um, she's like 12-year-old senior dog. She like rolls the roost. So for me, it was like I thought like, okay, I needed another title. I needed another like rung on the ladder. I needed another company under my belt. Like I needed like another XYZ. And it's like, no, I could have started it sooner. So even for my girls right now, like they're in midway through their sort of university college career phase and they're going to start working. And I'm like, yeah, like do a couple iterations and work with some really great bosses, but start thinking about how you're going to monetize your experience. And whether or not you actually want to pull that lever and do it at 28 or 32 or whenever, it doesn't matter. But just start thinking about like have your resume in your LinkedIn profile, but then also have like that, you know, pseudo business plan around how you're going to monetize your experience. Because I think at some point or another, like I want to say probably around 32, I could have gone off on my own if I wanted to. I mean, it's it would have been totally different, and the coaching space wasn't as big as it is now, and maybe it would have been a slog to get to where I am now. But I think start thinking about how you can monetize sooner.
I love that. I was sitting back thinking about like, would I have left corporate earlier if I had the opportunity? And you're right, I would have left. Because a lot of what's happening now is because of the change with AI. There are a lot of
Hmm.
women who are either quote unquote aging out of their career because they don't feel as though that they are able to adapt and change where AI is
Yeah.
concerned.
Hmm.
And a lot of them are out in the workplace looking for jobs that they feel like they don't qualify for. But what they don't understand is they already have experience where they can either coach or they
Hmm.
can help others who are coming up in their careers to do it as well. So, what advice would you give to women who are out in the workplace right now, feeling as though, like you said, they come back, they were making six figure and they want to offer them $50,000 and they're like, I know better.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's know who you are, right? Like I tend to think of like if I had to sort of compartmentalize it, like know what makes you unique, what are your passions that you could potentially monetize. Don't worry yet about where's my audience. Well, first of all, your audience is on school. You know, like the number one community on school right now is a pickleball community. Like out of all the categories, the number one community on school is pickleball. And I know pickleball is like the rage in the US and it's pretty big in Canada too, but it's the rage in the US and it was definitely something post COVID as everyone was like getting back into social communities again. But I'm like the number one community. So like whatever your interest could be perennial gardening. Like you could have been a VP of HR in your corporate job, but you love perennial gardening. Start a school community. Right? So it's like, don't limit it to just like, oh, well, I was a controller in my last job, or I was a marketing manager, or I was a health and safety, inspector in a factory or whatever that is. Because then you start getting yourself limiting. And like, you're right, you're going into looking at job descriptions and seeing how you monetize that. But it's like, what did you love about being a health and safety inspector? Well, I love training people. And I just love training people in general. I love like running workshops. And it's like, great, what would you love to run a workshop on if you could get paid for it? Anything. Perennial gardening. Awesome. Start a school community. Start talking about perennial gardening. Like there's people that have crochet communities. The number three community on school right now is a calligraphy community. Two ladies out of Australia that want to make sure that an ancient like writing practice of calligraphy doesn't get lost in the world of AI and all these other things, and that people actually still know how to use like a calligraphy pen. So it's like the number three community on school. So, and they monetize it. It's, like there's hobby communities at $9 a month, which means that you can really just start anything, right? And you can go from that standpoint. I mean, I was talking to one of the members in the community. She is retired health services practitioner, doesn't want to start a community around health services and talking about anything sciencey or health, but she's actually helping her kids right now look after her grandchildren. And she's a grandma and she's 70 years old. So she's actually going to create a school community for grandmas looking after their grandchildren and caring, for and helping their kids who are working that can't afford daycare, right? And, but also it's like I want to be close to my grandchildren. And like how do you do that? Like how do you organize your schedule and all those type of things? Because sometimes people get thrown into these things and maybe they need support on it. So start a community. So that's where I go back to like, what do you love doing? What are you passionate about doing? It doesn't have to be like, well, I did this in my day job in corporate, so now I have to start a business doing exactly that. Like, that's where it's like, go after your passion because then you're going to love it. And it's going to be hard and you're going to hate it some days and you're going to question yourself. But if it's around something that you love doing, you'll probably want to go back to it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my school community because it's something that I absolutely love doing. But when I was putting the classes up, I was talking to Talya and Martine. I'm like, I don't want to do this, and they were like, you can do this, you can do this. But I got it done, and I loved it. And after I finished it and I accomplished it, it was just the most amazing thing. So you're absolutely right. You have to do things that you have a passion for because if you don't, it's going to feel like two jobs, not just one, but two.
Yeah. Yeah. Like another member that I know, she went through this with her parents. Aging parents didn't want to go into nursing home. They didn't want them to go into nursing home. They wanted to do home care. Then it was like organizing all of their, power of attorney and financial stuff. And she learned through this all trial and error. It was exhausting. Her and her siblings went through it. And now she's starting a school community to teach other people because the reality is you're going to have to go through this. And so you can wait until it just gets thrust upon you, or you can now be part of a community where someone's going to share their personal experience around, okay, how did you do this? How did you work with the lawyer, the bank manager, this, organize mom and dad's funds, take care of them. Um, and it's going to be a needed community for sure, because there's tons of people in midlife that are caring for aging family members. And God knows our boomers just don't want to give up anything. They're so
No
stubborn about
information.
showing us anything. And it's like we're still like little kids in their mind. And it's just like, hey, I could probably do this smarter and better for you. So, but she's going to figure that out and she's going to create a community around it. And I know she can monetize it because there's definitely people. I can already think of like 20 people in my life, personally, friends that need that support. So that's where I go back to. It's like, I don't think you necessarily need to have like 20 certifications. Do what you love and be on school and you'll find your people on there.
I love that. I love that. Um, as I was, like I said, I've been really doing a lot of thinking about what my school community, what I need, and how I need to move with it. But the thing that resonated with me a lot when it comes to you is the fact that you say it is never too late.
Mhm.
Can you talk to us about that and why you believe that it's never too late?
Uh, because I'm running an AI summit and I'm not an AI expert. Like,
So true.
like I mean, I
Good
I
answer.
literally I literally, I like for the last year and a half I've been using ChatGPT in my business and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fun. This is saving me time. And I'm using Claude and I'm using Perplexity to help me like organize a trip to New York or whatever. Like all these things are really helpful. And then someone I know, like a colleague, showed me how to create a custom GPT. Um, and I was like hooked. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to run a summit and I just need like more women my age figuring out that they can actually save money operating their business. They can save time. Why are we spending so much time creating all this like Instagram content, all this type of thing? And they feel like they can't run their business, all this sort of stuff. And it's just, so I think like that's just an example where, because people will be like, well, do you have like 25 certifications in AI? No, I have no certifications in AI, but I'm running an AI summit and I'm running an AI community. And I've created a community where there are leaders in the community that are like ramping it up, right? Supporting it up. I just give them the platform. I'm like, you guys want to run a summit? You want to be a speaker in the summit? Here we go. I'll run the ads to it. We'll get you leads. We'll get you members that you can talk about your offers in. And I can monetize that. So that's where I think it's like it's not too late and you don't have to worry about having all the things or I need to, like, I can't start my business until I finish my coaching certification. Start.
I love that. I feel like I almost could start yesterday. So to kind of wrap our conversation, there's something on your website. It's essentially said that you want to help 1 million women get aligned. And
Mhm.
with the clarity of your vision and your plan, it's going to be over 1 million. I already know.
Thanks.
But I do want to say this. I do want to ask you this. What change do you hope to see in the world when more midlife women step into not just entrepreneurship, but into leadership?
Oh, well, I believe, who is it that said this? She's the founder of and CEO, I think she's retired now, of Elvest. I can't remember her name, but it's a US organization that teaches women how to invest their money and create generational wealth for their families. So I'm a big believer that when women get access to money, they create generational wealth for their families and their communities. And I think that, I mean, there's a number of stats out there that say that our generation, Generation X, midlife women, will either stand to inherit or make money. So there's been this massive pay equity gap that I lived through in my corporate days. But I think it's going to get compressed because we have this opportunity when we get access to funds to create the generational wealth for our families and our communities. So I think even though there was a shortage of funds, maybe when I was growing up, or colleagues of mine, female colleagues of mine, and women, female colleagues like women of color that were experiencing pay equity gaps, and it's still there. Like I'm not naive to the fact that it's not hasn't gone away, but it's getting better. But it doesn't replace the income that I lost, or lack of maternity leave coverage, all those type of things that I went through or my colleagues went through. So now's the time, I think, that if we can monetize our businesses, we will give back to our communities, our children, our neighbors. Like, we'll see more of that investment go into it. So that's what I hope to see happen ultimately, is that when midlife women get access to the money, it's not like we go and want to go into outer space, right? We want to give back to our communities.
Give back to our communities, take care of our kids, spoil our grandparents and our doggy friends. Our grandchildren are doggy friends,
Yeah,
and
like we do good when we get access to money.
just have a good time. That's
Yeah,
at least that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know what
yeah,
else. Just spoil my future grandchildren and do what I want to do with a whole lot more freedom. Friends, my internet's being a little wonky, so I just wanted to let you know. Question for you in the chat, guys. We probably could take one more question because we do want to be mindful of Brenda's time. Um, does Brenda actually teach the summit model? So there's any opportunities to really go deep and learn the summit model that you've been.
yeah, I do. I'm actually have a workshop coming up in January. I don't know the date at the top of my head, but if you join one of my free communities, so you've been talking tonight about the AI Driven Business Summit. When you go in there, you can go into the classroom. You can sign up for it. I think it's the 13th or the 17th of January. It's coming up in the next 2 weeks. But I definitely go through, I always like to do a debrief of a summit. So I'll go through and talk about the stats, like how much we spent on marketing, what were our marketing campaigns, how do we come up with our topics, how do we organize our speakers, pitch people, all those type of things. So I go through like all the details around how to run a summit on school. So.
Thank you. I think we have space for maybe one more question. If guys, if you want to drop that into the chat while I throw it back to Regina. Regina, I'm just dropping.
Well, thank you, Martine. Brenda, thank you so much for coming as Martine is looking for the questions. I really learned a lot being on with you and listening to you. I think my favorite thing was how you broke down that you need to have your vision, your values, and your goals. I wrote that down in big, bold letters for myself because it's something that it's when am in my school community, I need to keep that as a focus for myself. And then also being able to hear you as you've transitioned your life and as you have used your passion to grow your business has been a wonderful, wonderful inspiration as well.
Thanks.
Um, I love what you're doing and how you have all your speakers come in and run the summit for 3 days. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going 5 days. They've got to be kidding. It's with all those speakers, 5 days, absolutely not. You would
Well,
have
and
like 200
yeah,
speakers.
well, we do it global, right? Like we try and hit Europe, the Americas, North and South, and then South Pacific. So we start at like 6 a.m. and we go until usually 6 p.m. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. No, three
Usually,
days.
usually I don't have a voice by the end of it. Like there's just like
Yeah, no, I couldn't even imagine. And they're constantly on. So it's like you're never off.
no, yeah, because people are like texting and this and that. Even like people saying thank you. Like it's just like you'll get like 400 thank yous, and you're like, I can't like
You're
get
like, I
back to all of them. Like
can't.
it's wonderful. It's exciting. It's tons of fun, but that's the thing. Like you do these things because like yeah, I mean I think I used to design my business around what all the gurus said I should do, and it never felt great. And now I just get aligned around what I want my business to be. If I don't want to start at 10 o'clock, I don't start at 10 o'clock. Like, and it's
Mhm,
just like, and I do that. And then it's like, and then I want to be back in it. And so the whole idea about like just continually taking action, it's like, well, I don't mind taking action. And I don't burn out because I only sign up to do what I
mhm,
set out to do.
mhm. All right, Martine, did you get the go through the questions?
I did. There weren't any other questions that
Okay.
I saw. I want to just want to take a beat to say thank you so much, Brenda, as well, for being here, for chatting with us. This has been a really great conversation. Guys, the replay will be on YouTube. So if you were, so I know we got folks ironing, getting ready for school tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. The replay will be available. Those of you that have been freed from that, I'm jealous, but it'll be okay.
I'm
But the
excited.
replay will be on YouTube. I This is such a great conversation. I'm super excited to be presenting at the summit in a couple of weeks, and yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we're always looking for new speakers. So join the community and then you'll learn about our applications for next summits.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, Brenda, for being here. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
It's been so great getting to know all of you and meeting you. This is a really great
Absolutely.
forum. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
You're
it's
welcome.
been absolutely amazing. We love the fact that you came in, you gave your wealth of knowledge, and you were a little bit cheeky, which I absolutely love. I love a little bit cheekiness. That is so absolutely amazing for me. But we really needed this conversation as we grow
Yeah.
as women in business, and especially for me, who is a Gen Xer who is pivoting from corporate America into my own business and has my own school community. This was absolutely a conversation that I needed to have. Just like Talia says, I am a avid cruiser and I want to set my business up where I can have my business running while I'm on someone's luxury liner.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Yeah,
I already
absolutely.
see it. I already see it.
Yes, as my
Your school about pages is going to be you on like a on a cruise ship.
absolutely, absolutely. Designing on the ship. That's going to be me. That's going to be me.
Amazing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can do like in real life sessions like at different ports of call.
I thought about that. The two of us are we're simpatico on that. I had thought about that, especially as far as like I love art education.
Yeah,
So when I am in different ports and showing different art, so that is going to be one of my things that
I
is
think
going to be
so.
incorporated into my school.
Very fun.
Well, ladies, do you guys have anything else to say?
Brenda, I know, I think I heard you say there's a March one. So listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and be upfront. We sure want you to come back right before your March one too, so you could tell all the goodies about the March one. So
Okay, sure.
I'll just put it out there right now. I'll be in your
Okay.
inbox
Well,
to
I'm
to.
expecting that Talia and Regina and Martine, you guys are applying for the March one.
Oh
So
yes,
I'll just
for
put that
sure.
in.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
We'll be
Okay.
there.
Absolutely.
All
I'll be
right.
there. I'll
Okay.
be there.
Very
Absolutely.
cool. Thank you so much. It's been great. Have a good evening, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Brenda. We really appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Well, that was absolutely a wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
a good conversation.
It was a good conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But as we move on to our next presenter, it is, I think for me, as we have grown, as far as TRM is concerned, learning to see how we keep learning, growing, and evolving. It's good to see that this particular person, Mr. William McCraney, is always learning, growing, and evolving and changing. And this week we stretched William, I will tell you for sure. We stretched his ability and we came to him, and as always, William rises to the occasion. He rises to the occasion. We love having him on. He has been with us since day one, and William is such a talented AI artist who creates amazing GPTs. So, William, welcome in. And can you, or is it Toy that's going to tell us about the new GPT that you have?
Um, it will be Toy again.
All right.
so,
Well, I'm going to hand it off to you and Toy to do that, and then we're going to come back. Talia has created some amazing things with this GPT, and
yes.
I created two videos. I wasn't really sure which way I wanted to go, so I decided to create two. And I'm going to let you go, and then I am going to let Talia show her gosh, she did such a good job what she's created.
Oh, okay, great then. But I just want to show a couple of toys accomplishment.
Okay, okay.
So y'all can take a look and see what she got. And also too, I want to just say something about, yes, it did stress. Oh my goodness. I didn't know when y'all gave it to me, I didn't know where to go, what to do. I was like, oh man. And then not only that, I had something else in mind. I was ready to go with that I worked extremely hard on. But what and these ladies wanted to make sure that you have was something fresh, always fresh and new, and something in mind for you. They were really thinking about the community, y'all as a community, and they wanted to be able to have something for y'all to be able to use. Coming up these different holidays or coming up these different things that's going to be happening in the future, so y'all can maximize the income that y'all make. So yes, it made me better. It gave me a headache at the same time, but it did make me better. So I really appreciate that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen because I want to show what Toy have done this year. Okay. All right. I just need one person to tell me they see my screen.
We see it.
All right then. As you looking at my screen, that's Toy. That's her TikTok account. You see, she sold over 47 different states. Said 555 posts and nationwide leader. So when I seen that, I was like, oh my goodness, that really happened. I'm like, okay. Well, I was really happy for that. Actually, it has music to it, but I won't play the music because the music is not copywritten, but it's an artist, and I don't want this demonetized, so y'all to get demonetized. So I won't play that. So I'm gonna move this out the way. All right then, and I am going to press play.
Ability to consistently produce vertical, mobile-first compositions, which are ideal for social media platforms, digital products, marketing campaigns, and inspirational content. This saves creators time while ensuring professional-level consistency and visual clarity. Another key feature is the built-in affirmation and emotional framework, which helps users create art that connects deeply with audiences, increasing engagement, shares, and perceived value. The benefit of this system is that it removes creative friction, allowing users to focus on strategy, branding, and monetization, instead of struggling with ideation or refinement. Users can leverage this tool to create sellable digital products such as wall art, prints, affirmation posters, social media content packs, planners, journal covers, greeting cards, and themed collections for holidays like Valentine's Day. Because the visuals are culturally affirming and niche-focused, they appeal strongly to a defined audience, making them easier to market and price at a premium. Entrepreneurs can use the generator to build Etsy shops, print-on-demand businesses, or content subscription offerings where fresh visuals are delivered regularly. Coaches, influencers, and brands can use the outputs to strengthen their visual identity, attract aligned audiences, and sell services, products, or memberships. Social media managers can monetize by offering content creation packages to clients, using the generator to produce consistent branded visuals quickly. The time saved translates directly into higher output and more opportunities to sell. This tool empowers users to create assets that feel intentional, emotionally rich, and visually polished, which increases trust and conversion potential. By producing art that celebrates representation and connection, users can tap into a market that values authenticity and emotional storytelling, making it possible to build income streams through digital downloads, licensing client work, and branded campaigns, all from a single creative system that supports scalability, confidence, and long-term creative sustainability.
Okay, and I just want to just say one more time, I could not have done this without TRM because um, I'm a man. I don't know what women do when women are together. I don't know. I don't understand it, and they really helped me. They gave me a lot of input on it. So that's the reason why you see, those great images because they gave me that type of input. So I could not have done it. So I'm done. That's my speech, pretty much.
Well, we know that we love the fact that you are able and you are open to get that feedback from us as a group. We really, really were like, hey, could you do X, Y, Z? He was like, well, what do you do? So we had to really have that conversation about Galentine's and what it's all about and what we're looking for as far as imagery is concerned. So I just want to, because Talya is she's coming in with her down camera. She's like, mm-mm. She, are you just going to take your background down?
You want me to go first, and I'll give you a little more. I'll give you a little more time.
Yeah.
I'll go
It's not
first.
letting me log in for whatever reason. It's giving me the one from next week. It won't let me log into this one. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So she's trying to get her down camera to work. So we're working on it. She's like, well, maybe not this time. So we're gonna do what we are gonna do a hard pivot. So Martine, if you could go first and show what you have to offer, and then we'll try to figure it on out.
Perfect. So I did a search of Valentine's, and the results are looking good. Here's what I learned. For the word Galentine's gifts, there were 1,800 search results in the last month. Okay. And so what that tells me is Christmas has come to an end, and folks are starting to look for they're starting to look for things for Valentine's, Galentine's with a G, which I think is really exciting. I want to start here and talk a little bit about the numbers. We're actually very early in the season. So here is clearly, if you have anything Valentine's, Galentine's that you want to sell, make, list right now. These next 2 weeks is when you list. This is when you start marketing. This is when you do your email campaigns. And maybe, I'll just put it out there, maybe next November, somebody's going to be doing a Valentine's Day summit and all the different ways you can make money with Valentine's. Just going to put that out there. All right. So, where are we right now, though? Where are we right now? We've got a couple of shops that are bringing in income. I think it's a little early. I'm 100% sure when I look back, when I look later in January, these numbers are going to be higher. But we've got places making $418 a month, all the way down to $35. Remember, we are early in the season. We are early. Okay. We still have the January 15th paycheck, February 1st, and we're going to see these numbers rise, and they're going to rise all the way through probably the first week of March, because as you know it, when people get together for Valentine's, they kind of have to celebrate all month long. All right. Let's take another look. Okay. So let me go back. Most of the products here are digital, some handmade, but everything here, this 418 to about $35, $20, all of that is Galentine's, things you could do for fun with the girls. On this next tab, I looked for Galentine's gifts. And I do want to take just a minute to talk about it, because as you can see, there was a shop that made $35,000 last month. And I want to show you why, because the gift was not Galentine. So I'm going to show you the gift. It's like a Valentine's Day gift, a dice game. Okay, so that's what the product is. But I'm telling you, they use the word Galentine's as one of their keywords. And I want to highlight this because there's a lot to be said about having certain keywords associated to certain products. So I think they're getting that 35K in sales because the person starts looking for Galentine's. They decide they need that dice, and they throw the dice and no pun intended, but they throw the dice in the cart. It's only, I think it's like $8. And so this is what's on sale right now for $8. It's normally $22. This is why this number is this way. We're also seeing a rise in the trend because two things, Christmas holidays. So there's going to be a rise there. And then again, it's going to rise. They're going to make more money the closer we get to December. So even though this is not a Galentine's gift, it's tagged with Galentine's. And so the shopper is buying this one extra thing while they buy their gifts for their friends. You should be tagging your things in that way as well. Okay. All right. Other things that are making money: games, game cards, these little crochet hearts. They've had 1,100 total sales. This bookworm log. So they every time they read a book, they color in. That is doing they made 450 sales last month. This is given to it as a Valentine's gift. All right. Digital and physical invites. These are performing well. And when I say performing, the fact that it got a couple sales last month, that tells me that people are going to really start buying this stuff. More game cards for the Valentine's parties, the pajama parties. This one is a limited. It only has 2 left. All right. So they're doing limited series. This one is suitable for cell phones. So it's got that, 16 by 9. And all they got to go in is change the text and it's ready to go. And it's a combination. Save the date, the invite, and the thank you card. Not enough people do that. You need to save the date, an invite, and a thank you card. And it's all digital. All right. It's a 20 plus cards. They've already sold 13. It's going for $5 right now. Okay. All right. Now I already talked about the dice. So hold on. I got to move around, y'all. I got to move around. Are Galentine's and Galentine's related items profitable? Yes. Yes, they are profitable. This is that passive income. I don't like using the term passive income because passive income is never 100% passive. You're going to have to do some work, and more often than not, you have to do a lot of work, or you have to buy ads, whichever one you want to choose. And so what I learned was digital products are selling. You not yes.
They can't see your screen any longer.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. What I've learned is digital products are selling. These are great grabs. You can list them, post them. You're gonna make decent money over the course of this seasonal holiday, and then it'll trickle back down. And so your goal is, if you make Galentine's invitations, for example, you also might make summer girls trip styled travel invites as well, so they buy from you again. Okay, so this is all about yes, there's a seasonal thing, but what are some other holidays? If they buy this, then they're more likely to buy some other things associated with this niche. Okay, so when you think Galentine's, I also want you to think summer girls trip, all male travel, all female travel, co-ed travel. That's a big thing right now, as a means to bring in passive-ish income. All right. So that brings me to Williams GPT. So I took my prompts that I got from Williams GPT, and I actually made I kind of made a little change. Williams not surprised by that though. And so what his GPT does is it gives you, like, when you prompt for it, it gives you like, here's a straight up prompt. Here's the prompt. Here's what it is. This is what it does. And so I said, "Ooh, I love this prompt about Paris. Take this prompt about Paris and turn it into Canva design prompts." Now, when I clicked on this design area here, let's see if I can show y'all this. All right, and these are prompts from Williams GPT. Here it is. Okay. And so I was like, okay, I want just an easy, quick, slap together. Oh my goodness. Everybody wants to talk now. Okay. I want an easy, quick invite that I could basically make in a second. Right? So I took the prompt that I got from Williams GPT and I brought it over here to the design section of Canva. I pasted it and then I hit generate design. And so what that did is it's going to create a template design for me that basically all I got to do is change the text. And so his GPT built this Canva prompt from me. I used the base prompt that his GPT gave me, and I said, hey, give me some Canva design prompts. I said the words Canva design, and it gave me exactly what I need. Boom. Now all I got to do is go in and change my words. Everything else is done and fixed for me. Okay? And so I use that GPT to make this invitation. And then I started creating a macaroon, even though I know that's misspelled, macaroon memory game, and then a Paris PJ trivia game. And then I said, okay, well, what else can it do? So I said, go and give me. So I went back into the GPT and I asked it for some sticker sheets. I wanted sticker sheets because I know that Canva also has this magic media feature. All right. So I went and put sticker sheets prompts that came out of the GPT. And my point with all of this is that regardless of what generator you're using, his GPT can provide prompts that slap. All right. So, and if seeing all this new Canva design stuff is new to you, you need to connect with me. If you're like, I didn't even know Canva could do this, put a 1 in the chat. If you're like, I didn't even know Canva could do this. And look at these sticker sheets, man. These sticker sheets are the bomb. Let me know if you didn't know that Canva could make sticker sheets like this. Sandra, where you at? Because I know she's gonna be able to make more sticker sheets. All right. So I asked this GPT to give me prompts for sticker sheets. It did it. And then I was like, well, what if I just want like one sticker by itself? Because my thought was like, for a Valentine's party, you could do like a fake tattoo station. And they can go and put like stickers and tattoo, or a journaling station, and they could put stickers on their journal page, like the whole thing. And so I got the sheets. I thought the sheets were cute. Like, this is just removing the background. You've got champagne, you've got the silk sleep mask, the slippers. That's cute. So then I said, okay, well, can it give me like individual sticker prompts? And it did that for me as well. So let me show you some of the things it created. Let me check the chat. All right, all those ones, I see you guys have never seen this before. This is a brand new feature. It's called the Canva Design and Magic Media. But look at that sticker. That's cute. Look at that, did pearls. It must know Regina in the room. Got them pearls outlined. All right, let's see. Let me do one more. Let's see. Ooh, let me do this macaroon. I love me some food art. Okay, so let's do a macaroon stack. Let's see what it does with macaroons. So yeah, the GPT slaps. Anybody who knows me, you know I'm a Canva girl. You know that I'm a Canva girl, and so I love all things Canva. And all of these came from prompts from Williams GPT. Oh yes, that looks delicious. I could eat that right now. Actually want all. I will say, hey, if you want all 4 pictures, you better get it now. Because if you don't, then they disappear. Like if you put in a new prompt, all the old images are gone. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me do one more. Let me know how you. I don't see Talya's face, so maybe she's.
I'm ready.
Okay. Good. All right. So I'll do one last one. But this is the route I decided to make. My thought was, guys, you could create complete personalized kits. We are in these are more stickers I made. We are in a personalization world. And so like you could do little baggies, put each person's name on each lip gloss, like personalized. And you can charge a higher price point. because you had to make these images yourself. They're not standard clip art. They can't be bought by, they can't be mass produced. This is all boutique style. So your margin, your prices, they go up. If you print them yourself, they become even higher. Are there any questions for me when we talk about using Canva design, using Magic Media? Any questions about any of that? Yeah, that one of a kind. It's all about the one of a kind. And if you want to go deeper with me on these custom sets, join the paid creative. And I have all of these sessions ready for you, and you can go and learn all about Canva design and Magic Media. But in the meantime, get the GPT. The prompts are amazing. And you can tell it whatever style you want to tell it, and it'll just.
Oh, thank you, Martine. That is absolutely amazing. I didn't even know. I mean, that's the thing that I love about TRM. We all go into such different um, ways of working with Williams GPT. We do different things every single time. Like Martine decided to do sticker sheets. I was like, that was a great idea.
I didn't know it could do that.
See, William, but remember, I always say this about you, William. You write your stuff so well. You give us a nice foundation where we can really expand upon that foundation. It just, and I'll show you what I did with it as well, because it created characters that I absolutely loved. And then I asked myself, I wonder if it can do X, Y, and Z. But Talya is going to, are you ready with your down camera, Talya?
Yes.
She is going to show what she created with it, because when I tell you she did her thing, she did absolutely did her thing. Trying to find you down camera.
I got it.
Thank you, ma'am, because I couldn't find it. There it is.
I got it. So, while Martine was talking about invitations, this is one of the first things that I did with it. I created an invitation for, of course, everybody doesn't celebrate Valentine's because they don't have one. But if you got some friends like I got, we can do a Galentine's night, right? So this is an invitation to, ask my girlfriends, hey, will you be my Galentine? We're gonna have a sip and celebrate tonight for Valentine's Day. Um, I actually printed these on some really expensive paper because I ran out of my other paper. So these got a really good luster paper. If you can see the texture and everything in it, these are very nice. Okay. And then I just want y'all to know the versatility of Williams GPT. So you saw this image that he actually showed when Toy was speaking, but you're able to grab the text and change it to whatever you want it to be. So I created a card with it. So this is for you and your Galentines when one of them does something amazing and you want to celebrate each other. This is a card that you would give to her. It's blank on the inside so that you can write what you would like, but you know, we created a card. And another one here. This one is for your girlfriends. Sometimes family is not built. Sometimes family is built, not born, because everybody that's family does not have to be blood, right? So this would be for your friends that you feel like are family. And I have several of those that we're not blood, but we thicker than thieves. So again, this is just another greeting card. And I wanted to show you that I did create an actual sticker sheet because I wanted you to see how his GPT looks in other generators, right? So um, these are from Midjourney. And I'm pretty sure you can tell that, but this is an actual sticker sheet. So all of these are able to be peeled off. So this is, individual stickers. And it is planter season, honey. So you need this. All right. So all of these on this side came from Midjourney. But I did these in ChatGPT. Aren't they the cutest? So you absolutely need this GPT so you can go ahead and get your planner game up to par for you and your Galentine's. So again, you can print these sticker sheets out when y'all go on y'all little Galentine's date and start planning for the rest of the year because it is time. All right. That is all that I have. But as you can see, two different takes already from Williams GPT and the versatility of everything that you can do with it. Anytime you get a GPT that
Mm-hmm.
has amazing prompts, I tell y'all all the time, if the prompt is strong, you can do anything with it. And this GPT did just that. So go on and get y'all one. Mhm.
Oh, I know that when I decided to do something with Williams GPT, I was thinking about like invitations and social media videos, but I kind of wanted to show you all the different art styles and how you can take his GPT to the next level. So let me share my screen and make sure I share with sound. I'm going to kind of put you guys in a tunnel a little bit because I'm going to share my whole screen because there's some things that I need to show you in different parts of my screen. Let's share desktop. Boom. All right. So I was looking for different things as far as Galentine's was concerned. So I went to my favorite place, Love Pinterest. I went there and I found this really this reminds me of me and one of my girlfriends, right? I always have a girlfriend that's always trying to set me up. She was like, "Girl, let me call him. Let's all go out to dinner." She's always trying to set me up with someone, and I'm always like, "Girl, I'm learning AI. I'm learning AI." So this reminded me of me and my girlfriend. So what I decided to do is I decided to ask it, his GPT, what can I create that would be the ultimate for this? So I took it over into his GPT and it gave me, let me move this down. Where is it? It gave me these images, right? I wanted to give it a little, I wanted illustrations. I didn't want it photorealistic. And I wanted it to show myself and one of my best girlfriends who's always trying to set me up, right? So this is the two of us in illustration form, and I sent it to her, and she like cracked up. She said, "This is so us." But it also, his GPT has all of these amazing, you can go photorealistic. It can, let me make these a little bit bigger. You can go photorealistic with the images. You can go illustrative with the images. And you get all of this from his GPT. And I just started playing with all the ways that I could see and have my girlfriends be a part of Galentine's Day and come up with a really great concept. And I decided, I told her, I said, we're two types of women. We're really soft and funny and girly, but we're also do our boss babe thing. And we have a third girlfriend that does that with us. So I decided to then create the videos for it. So here is the two of us together. Let me make sure that this is not loud because my thing can come up loud.
You won't believe what he said next. Here, he wants to talk to you. Oh my gosh, give it here. Go on, pick it up. He's waiting for you.
I can't believe you set this up.
So you can go through, you can create all of these amazing scenes for between you and your girlfriends, stories that you guys would tell one another, how you guys would interact with one another. This is so Candace's thing. She will always hand me the phone or tell me different things or tell me about someone. I love her for that. And I just wanted to kind of make something that reminded me of her. So also we have a third girlfriend. I wanted to create something that reminded that we do Boss Girl things together as well.
You say that you about it and I see you trying to hold about that ain't how it's brought up. Next, waiting for my money cause it's what my mama told me, so your ass better show me some respect. Boss, Michelle Obama, purse so heavy, get no but dollar. Boss, Michelle Obama, purse so heavy, get no but dollar. Boss, Michelle.
So we do all of these amazing things, and his GPT has the ability for you to give all of this great stuff between you and your girlfriends and create all the things for that. And I just absolutely loved working with it. I had so much fun playing with the GPT, coming up with concepts. And when I decided to do the thing for my girlfriend, I'm going to actually put her name on it and send it off to her as a digital card because I think that for us, we can use them as digital cards. We can use them as digital invites. You can do all those things with his GPT. It has so many things for you to do. It breaks out, like I asked it for all the scenes and the images for each entire scene and the dialogue for the scenes. I was able to do all of that with his GPT. It was really, really amazing. Why did my camera go up? It was really amazing to work with. So if you are interested in getting this GPT, please, please do because he did a fantastic job with the GPT. I don't, for Valentine's Day, and this is getting you ready for Valentine's Day early. So if you guys are thinking about having like social media things for you selling in your Etsy shops or in your other shops, you can have those things in and already be seasoned. Martina shown you that you can create stickers. Start placing those things in now. You don't want to be behind on doing that. So using his GPT will allow you to do so. Talya has shown you cards and individual stickers and invites. All of those things are able to be done with his GPT. And it also, his GPT has um, where you're able to do your sayings and inspirational sayings within the GPT. So you don't even have to think about that. He's already pre-built that already inside of the GPT. It is a wonderful GPT to work with. We love that he heard us and saw and created artwork that we could use. And you saw I wanted to show you guys the diversity of artwork that is inside of this GPT. It is not just one type of artwork. You can use all different types of artwork. You can come with an inspiration like I did from Pinterest and take that into the GPT and it will definitely do what you need to do. But it's really important that you guys see and get on getting ready for Valentine's Day. So, William, what do you have to say with what we did?
That was absolutely, I was amazed from it, and especially with the video. That really had me. I was really amazed of it, what it did. And y'all always do shock me on it. Just want to let everybody know too that there are four strong conversational starters in the GPT that you are automatically set up just in case if you don't want to do a whole lot, but you can customize it. You can give it your own message and it will create it. You can give it one word and it will create your prompts for you. And you take it off to any text to image app that you choose. Two I suggest is ChatGPT itself because it's good for words, and the other one I suggest is Nana Banana Pro. Now, those two, for me, those two are some of the best. But if you have one that you prefer, then go ahead and use that one. I believe in this one too. You also have where you don't have to have words. So you have it come up with it comes up with an option. It has an A and B option. The A option is with words. The B is without words. So it'll automatically do that for you if you ask that. And then after it creates the prompts, what it's going to do is going to probably give you some more ideas of what you can do with it. It might even drop a magazine. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm
Mhm.
creating where you can build your own magazine out of some of your GPTs, and you can do it with that one too.
The thing that I loved, William, is when I gave it what I wanted, it gave me like four or five more different types of art styles because I asked it
Hmm.
for an illustrative art style. I say, well, do you want this in an illustrative art style or do you want it in a photorealistic illustrative art style? And it just kept giving me different things and different color combinations that I might want to try. It was really intuitive. And when I decided to put in that I wanted it to be on more on a Galentine's
Hmm.
day, it gave me like 4 or 5 different types of Galentine's days that I could
Hmm.
have chose to go on and move through and change the direction of my video. But I'm glad that I was able to work with the GPT and actually get what I was looking for. So it was absolutely phenomenal to work with. But I'm telling you, start yourself and set yourself up for Valentine's Day using this because the one thing that I was noticing when I was looking through Etsy, there's not that many videos right now that are ready for Etsy for you to use currently. So where people can go on, buy it for social media, place it up on their social media. You can have your girlfriends, you can have the aesthetics like Martine did, getting the stickers. You can have all of those things, and you can use it with this GPT. So,
And not
William, thank you so much.
you're welcome. And not only that, the faster you put your product out there, the higher you'll go up in the lineup because you want your product to be seen. So if you wait too late, everybody else's products is seen. You want to be on the either on page one or page two on whatever you posting it, posting up on the whatever media site that you use to sell your products. Hmm. That's
I
all I
would
was saying.
definitely agree. Um, but when it comes to making money and looking at what's really good for your customer base, for you guys who are selling invitations and social media and all of the things, this is a great GPT for you guys to create things in advance so that you guys can be ahead of the game. Because maybe, let me tell you, Hallmark, they're about to start advertising.
Oh yes. And if you stuck on ideas, just go into the GPT and ask it, hey, what can I use this GPT? How can I what items can this GPT can make, and how can I monetize it? Trust me, it's gonna tell you.
Oh, it definitely will because remember I told you that I asked it for Galentine's themes and it gave me like 4 or 5 of them with
Hmm.
examples of what they might look like and what I could do with it. It definitely did its thing.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, William, once again. We really appreciate you coming in and doing and stepping up to the challenge because we literally challenged you to get this done, and you really did a fantastic job with it. We really appreciate that. So thank you once again.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Thank
Uh,
you, William.
Oh, you're welcome.
all right. Well, we really appreciate William. He is a phenomenal creator, and he does such a great job on everything that he does. And our last, but certainly not least creator is Mr. Adrian Scott. He has come up with something that is absolutely phenomenal. He really worked on his AI twin, but he did something that was just a it was completely different than everyone else has done for their AI twin. He has set up a whole um, ecosystem of, I want to come up with a great word because it is a complete ecosystem. Like how he came up with it. It's a holistic approach on how you build your business, right? Using an AI twin to have out online is great, but what about making money by creating those? What about going into the corporate sphere with twins and how you are going to actually position yourself as a forefront leader? That is what he has done with what he is doing with AI twins. So, Adrian, we are going to give you the floor and allow you to talk about what you're doing and all the great things. So, welcome back, and
Hey,
we
what's going on?
appreciate you're here.
Okay, hey, what's going on, family? So, I'm not going to be too long. Let me just jump right in and tell you guys a little bit about the app that I built. Unless you've been living under a rock, or if you guys don't know me, I'm Adrian Scott. I run the school community just created with AI. So, unless you guys have been living under a rock right now, the big thing right now is AI twins. AI twins are big right now. So, a lot of you guys don't know, I've been building apps before vibe coding was a thing. So, like the big trend right now, 2026 is vibe coding. So, if you guys are not into vibe coding, this is the year of vibe coding when you guys can just really get in here. It's super easy to build your apps. The way that we were building apps before vibe coding was a lot different. You had to really know code, all that type of stuff like that, front ends, back ends, database, all that stuff like that. Guys, you don't even have to really know that anymore. And then Google is making it super easy for us right now to just have an idea and just get a product off the ground. So with that being said, I saw the trend over on Facebook, different places like that, these apps right now was really jumping, especially the ones that's created over there in Google Studio. But one of the issues with the Google Studio, if you don't know what you're doing, it was difficult to what is called deploy those apps in a way that you can monetize them. Now you can monetize them if you just share the app, but if you share the app just with your link, then you are also sharing your code also with the actual app as well. So we had to kind of find a workaround around that. And just as well as I'm a teacher, I'm a student. So I was able to get with a great person that really walked me through how to do it, figure the bugs out on this thing. And we came up with there's a way to actually deploy these Google apps right now where you don't have to share your keys or anything like that. You can deploy them. And I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. But creating these AI avatars right now is the thing. One of the things I've always tried to do with any product that I create is get outside of myself and really think about you guys, the people that are purchasing my products. You know, how would they use this product? What kind of problems would they run into? So that was the thought process with creating this. One of the great things about Google now is you can create your apps, and when you deploy them, you can do what is called a bring your own key app, which means that you don't have to have your API keys in there. And because you can use your own API keys, what that does is that tethers you, that pulls you away from a monthly subscription because through Google, through Google, once you pay for your API, then you just only pay for the usage that you use. That's it. It's almost like putting your gas in your car. You're not tied to a monthly bill. So that's the way that this apps work. And it's best just really show you guys how it works. And I create a ton of examples. Don't want to be too long. Let me just jump off of here and I'll show you guys. It's better to see it than me trying to explain it. So let me try to share what screen I'm sharing here. Let's see. Chrome. Let's see. Desktop one. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So you guys let me know if you guys can see my screen now.
We can.
Okay. All right. Let me cut that off. Hey, buddy, it's okay. It's okay. My little dog in here scared. It's okay, buddy. All right. So let me show you guys. So this is the first screen that you will see when you access the app. Guys, don't be intimidated. It's really easy to set this up. I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. So once you guys purchase the app is available through Gumroad. And once you purchase the app, you guys are going to get a nice little document like this. It will walk you through exactly how to set up to get your Google API key. Once you purchase the actual app, you'll get your own individual Gumroad license key. So once you purchase this app, it's yours. There's no monthly fee for it. And once you put that license key in, there's none of your information is shared because everything with the way that the app is deployed, all of your information is stored locally there on your browser. There's nothing that goes outside of your browser. Everything is on your computer. And that's why the way that we're doing it right now is so sweet because you don't have to worry about sharing personal data, information, emails, all that kind of stuff like that. All right. So once you guys get that, you go ahead and navigate over to the actual app. And the first screen you'll see will be this here. You go ahead and copy and paste in that gumroad key. The Google key process, super simple. There's a link in here. You come over right here. There's a link to get here. You click create API key up here. And then once you create that API key, Google also gives you, if you've never done this before, they're going to give you a ton of free credits to start off. But once you set this up, you'll go ahead and set your billing up with your credit card in here. And they bill you monthly on this. So they'll set you up on a tier and you only pay for what you use. That's the way that it works. So even if you see that your amount is going up, you guys can go in and check that. You can even go and make a partial payment. I think on the base tier, they'll let you get up to $100 a month on this here. But then even if you start seeing it creeping towards 100, you can go in there and put $5, $10. It doesn't really matter because you control the way that you use this with the way that we set this up. All right. And if this is confusing over here inside of my community, even on the free tier, you guys have access to this, guys. In here, I have a dedicated module in here for this that has all of the training for this particular app, guys. So I'm not going to leave you guys out in the dark on how to use it. There's tons of videos. As a matter of fact, I did a pop-up video this Friday. We was creating real estate marketing materials with the app. I'll show you guys what that looks like. But there's a ton of training in here. You guys can come over, join the community. It's free, and you automatically have access to all the training that you have here, and it's ongoing training at that, all right? So once you log in, this is the first screen that you'll see. Once you first log in, this is the actual app. It's really easy. You can create male characters, female characters, and male characters here. All right, you can upload your photo right here. You can also generate a character from scratch inside of this box right here. Just upload your prompt right here, and you can and then I have an AI assistant in here too, but I'll show you guys what that looks like. So we'll select the female character. We'll jump back here, and I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like because I got a folder set up with a ton of assets in it. All right. You'll navigate here. I got my base avatar. These are all my resources. This is my little avatar that I created that I've been using. Okay, so it works best when you have a face image here. Down here, you get 100% control. This is something unique I've added in. You got I think over maybe 50 or 60 different art styles. You guys know I love putting art styles in because people like to create different types of content. So you got a ton of art styles that you can do. It does photorealistic, UGC, coloring books, prompts. It's so many different things that this app can do. And I'll show you guys a ton of examples. In here, have a ton of pre-set up outfits in here, hairstyles in here, and anything in here you can customize to. This is what is called the manual mode, okay? So if you want to go in here and you just like 100% control of how your images turn out, you can go in here and you can just customize to your heart's content. So you can control the outfit. You can come in here and hit custom in here. If you don't want the selections I have, put your own makeup in. You can do your own facial expressions, hairstyles, accessories, all of that. I know hairstyles sometimes are a little bit difficult for some people to describe. So even in here, I have an option where you can even click here and you can even upload an actual hairstyle that you want your character wearing, and it'll translate that to the actual final image. All right. And another thing, this dynamically updates. So right now, because I have this, so you guys say, well, what happens if I select the male? Okay, I got you. So if you select a male character here, then all of this in here changes. All right. So for a male character, the outfits in here, they update based on men's outfits. The hairstyles in here update based on men's outfits. The grooming in here will update. You don't see makeup, you see grooming for men in here. Facial expressions pretty much stay the same. The skin finishes will change because they're more geared towards men. And also the accessories in here would change based on whether you have a male or a female character selected. So as you guys can see right here where it says grooming, when I switch back over here to female, you guys will see that jumps to makeup. That's where you put all your makeup styles in, all right? Right here is where you want to put that custom outfit in. This is what you want. We're actually going to do that. I'm going to grab here. We'll jump in what I want her wearing. We'll grab this outfit right here. All right. So right now, I'm not going to select anything in here. I'm just going to use the this outfit here for her to wear. I'm going to scroll down. I know I'm especially dealing with women a lot. I know you guys really want to be able to go in and dial in your body shapes and types and all that kind of stuff like that. So if you want to just go in and control the height, you can control the waist, you can control the bust, you can control the hips. You can go in and control all of that in this section right here, all right? And then in here, you can customize your scene. What kind of scene do you want this character in? So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and select, we're going to do let's put her on we're going to do a TED Talk here. And then for lighting, I'm not going to do any of that. For pose, I'm going to go here. I'm not going to select any of these poses. I'm going to do custom. I'm going to say, she is, now there's a shortcut to this. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. I'm going to say she is talking to the crowd. All right, so that's the pose, just something simple like that. All right, you guys, we got a ton of camera, you got camera angles in here. You have all of that in here. You guys can do UGC type content in here. I'm going to show you examples of that. You got your mood and lighting. We got color grade. If you guys come from a photography background, then you guys understand. We have all the Fuji looks in here. We have Kodak looks in here. We have Polaroid, lumography. We got popular teal and orange. It's a ton in here. And then if you find an image that you say, man, I really like the way that the color looks on that image, it's kind of sweet. Don't worry, I got you there too. If you click right here and you upload that image and you like the way that color grading is on there, the LUT is what it's called. If you like that, you upload it right here, and then you can transfer that look, that style to your actual image as well. All right. And then down here, this is where you determine the aspect ratio. So you can do 3x4 all the way up to 5x4. We got the popular sizes in here, 9x16, 1x1, and 16x9. All right. And also you can generate multiple images in here at one time. If you slide this right here, you can go all the way up to generate 10 images at one single time, which really makes this super convenient and efficient and time efficient when you're generating, because that's the thing about, like, even over on Higgsfield, I don't think you can do 10 images at a time. And some of the other applications, I know inside of ChatGPT, you can do multiple images back to back, but this is batching. When you slide this all the way up, you're going to get 10 outputs at one time with different variations of your image, which makes it really super convenient, because, you know, sometimes AI is tripping and you might not like that first image. So just having the ability to actually slide this up and get multiple images saves a ton of time with your outputs. What I like to do, because I'm paying for my own gas with this, when I'm building out my scene, I'll go ahead and maybe slide this up to about 2. And that way, when I generate my first images, I want to look to make sure that's what I want. And then once I know, okay, that's cool, I like that, the sweet spot for me is I very seldom generate 10, because the app hits so hard with the way it generates images. You very seldom have to generate 10 images to get one that you want. The sweet spot for me is usually somewhere between maybe 4 to 6 images. And out of that 4 to 6 images, I'm gonna always get at least 4 or 5 that's good on that. No less than 4. You're always gonna get something that's good. Now, this is what makes this app a game changer right here. All right, this is something I added in recently, because I'm always listening to my customers, people that purchase the app, and I'm always thinking, okay, what can I add in here would just take this to the next level? This, guys, is a AI creative director that has been trained on art styles, fashion, photography, lenses, angles, scenes, business. It's built directly in here inside of this section right here. This is where you have a conversation with the actual agent. So, for example, this agent knows every choice that you make up here. It understands the app. It can give you advice. It can put the scene together for you. So, for example, I'm going to show you guys. So, manual mode, like right now, I'll be generating her with this image in this particular scene right here, the talk, doing this pose. All right, cool. Now I can just go ahead right here and just click generate, and it'll do that. This right here is what is called a master override. This is called the director's chair. The mindset to get into with this app is it's not prompting, it's directing. What you're doing here with this app is you're putting all your assets together. You're getting your characters, you're getting your outfits, you're getting your scenes, and you're putting it together. And what you want to do right here is you want to have a creative strategy session with your agent right here to put that scene together the way that you want it to work. You're not wrestling with trying to get a prompt structure right in here. Although it'll give you prompts and you can put prompts in here, that's not the purpose of it. All right. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to, and then this is a new thing I added in. You can talk to it too. I added a mic in here. You don't even have to type in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to say, hey, I just uploaded all of my assets that I want to use for my final image. Go ahead and set that composition up for me, please. Thank you. You click here, and then you send it here. Now, I could have just clicked generate, but I built the agent in here to structure the instructions in a certain type of way where it's extremely detailed. And as you guys can see, I'll receive your assets. I'll be using identity from image A. This is a key system that's used in here, the way that it generates images. I teach you guys what that key system is over inside of the school community so you can understand how to put these together. And it's simple because once you know what image A is, image B is, you can say, hey, I want to use image B's hat or image B's shirt on this outfit here for this character. And once you learn that system, it's super easy. But the actual agent in here automatically, it already understands it. So you don't even have to do that. So what it did is in here, it said, hey, it says per your configuration, she'll be standing on a TED Talk stage. As you guys can see, it understood my choice here, captured at eye level while charismatically engaging with the audience. The dynamic stage lighting will ensure she stands out beautifully against the auditorium backdrop. I have updated the directive to reflect its composition. As you guys can see, I didn't enter any of that. And what it did is it updated this section in here to reflect that, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this up to 2 images, and I'm going to click generate. While that's generating, I'm going to go around and show you guys some stuff that I've created with this, all right? So in here, this was my primary character right here. And in this one right here, I selected this outfit here. I wanted her to have a big joyful smile. I didn't pick anything in here. Right here, I said talking to customers. That's the pose that I want her to be in. I selected 6 images right here. And right here, I just told my agent here, I said, make sure that the main character has a hairstyle that she's wearing and not the hairstyle from the outfit. Sometimes I'll do that just to make sure because it works better if you just upload an outfit here. But if you upload a character here wearing the outfit, sometimes it's good to just tell the agent, hey, I just want the outfit and not the character, just to be on the safe side. All right. And then it went in, did its thing, updated it, guys. And as you guys can see, this is what the images look like. It speaks for itself. Just go through here, and then they follow the instructions. She's wearing an outfit that I wanted her to wear. She's talking to the customers. It's the book signing, same smile. And you guys can see the consistency is there. All right. And then if you want, then you get, every time you generate a set, guys, you get a post over on social media, you're going to get context related captions. After every image, you're going to get all these captions in here, and they're related. You're going to get hashtags. You guys are going to get your hooks, your headlines and your hooks. You're also going to get your CTAs and all of that. You guys say, well, how do I get that out of here? I got you there too. You click right here, and then you click here and watch this. This is a PDF that you can download that has all of your assets and your images in it. Same images that you generated. You can download this here for yourself, for your clients, to keep track of this. And then it has all your captions in here. It has all your hashtags. It also has your hooks and your head all in there. That's a PDF. You just click right here and it'll compile all of that for you. All right. Over here, this was me. This was just me working with the agent. I didn't select anything in here. I just told the agent what I wanted to do. I'm like, hey, we're going to be creating, I need a prompt for a high-end fashion magazine style cover, designer wear. That's it, guys. Basic prompt is what I told it. It went in here, put some stuff together. I didn't really like what it came back with at first. I said more detail. This supposed to be say avant-garde is what that's supposed to be see. But then I went in here, it said, let's push the avant-garde elements to the extreme to suit the striking bone structure of image A. See, it understands your image too that you uploaded. Image A is this image here, okay? This was a model that I generated right here, okay? And I'll show you guys how I did that also. That was done inside of Nano Banana, the model that I generated here. But I also have it where you can generate custom characters from scratch in here as well. And I'll show you guys how to do that. And then once it went in and I said, okay, cool. I read what it had right here. I said, then I said, give her a pose because it's updating down here. Anytime it does something, it's updating. I'm reading it and it's a creative session. This is how you do it. And then I said for the magazine cover of this caliber, a dynamic hand to face pose would be perfect. It increases in interest, geometric lines, and draws more attention to the metallic makeup and your subject's incredible bone structure in image A. I've updated the directive to include a 3/4 head tilt and an elegant hand placement that complements the structure collar of the outfit. Ready to see results? It put them here. Guys, I hit generate. And this was, I was just playing around with creating magazine covers. And this is what it did, guys. That's the level of output that this app does. This is what it is, just from that creative strategy session. All right. And then it did the exact same thing, gave all the different captions down here, hashtags, so on and so forth. All right. That's just me playing around with it, guys. You can do marketing materials, flyers, posters. It does all of that. Just talk to the agent down here, tell it what you're trying to create. As you guys can see, I didn't select anything up here. All of this happened just for me talking to the creative director in here, and we're putting that scene together. What you're doing here is you're directing. You can ask it, hey, how do I get realistic skin texture? What's the best camera angle for this? What's the best lighting for this? This thing knows all of that. You don't have to worry about knowing any of that. You just got to tell it what you want your vision to be for your character. And as you guys can see, it'll take care of the rest for you. All right. And then over here, we was trying to play around. I want to show you guys how it deals with objects. So if you want your character to hold objects in here, the way you do that, this is my primary character. This is the outfit that I wanted her to wear. And then right here in this section right here, it says upload object. This is a product. So this is when you want to start creating those product advert type images, UGC type stuff. You can actually upload a product image right here in this section right here. And then you can come down here. I could have went in manually and said, right here it says specific action. If you don't want to use this, you can even type in here and say, have my character holding this bottle, but putting this agent in here is the sweet sauce right here. You use the agent. If you want to manually do it. So what I told the agent in here was, hey, I need an image of my character wearing the outfit in image B, and a setting that the focus should be on the product, but have her showing so you can control the setting. So basically, I just wanted the focus to be on both her and the product. And I read what the agent gave me back here. I was cool with it. I generated it. Boom. And these are the images that it generated with her holding the bottle. All right. And the next set of images, I wanted to just have the product shown. I wanted the product to be the predominant thing. All right. That's when you're doing the UGC style product showcase type images where the product is the hero there. So in this section right here, under camera angle, you have what is called UGC and product focus, where it says UGC hands only product focus, POV product demo. So this is all this in here. You got 100%. You can control this thing to your heart's content. You can just go crazy with the way you control the output of your images. But I told it, hey, cool. I just use the agent to do it. And I jumped over here, same prompt. I'm using the same prompt now for this one, but I changed the focus of it. I jumped over here. And for this one, I wanted the product to be the primary thing. So down here, I copied and pasted in my same prompt, same object that I wanted holding. But I said, hey, for this one, this is a UGC product focus image. I upload all of my images and made my selection. So up here, I made my selections that I want. And here, like the up close hands interaction is what I did right here. I wanted the scene to be a private jet interior. That's one of the drop downs you have in here. I want her wearing this outfit. This is her face right here. And I don't even think I went back and forth with her on this. It hit it the first time on this one. And then once I click generate, guys, and now it's more product focused. She's wearing the same outfit. So now think transition. So the images that I showed you the first time could be like scene 1. The images I'm showing you now can be scene 2. You can put entire scenes together with this over there on like VO3 and any of these first frame, last frame models, guys. You can put entire scenes together now just using the images that you get out of here. That's a product focused one. This one is good. She's still showing it, but she's more in there. But like I say, I usually try to generate at least 4 to 6 images. And as you guys can see, even though this is still a great image, she's still in there. But out of those 4, 3 of them is exactly showing the actual product, which is what I wanted. All right. And then, of course, you can download all your assets in here. You can do all of that. All right. Over here, this was a guy. I wanted to switch it up to show you guys what it would do with a male. For this one, I wanted to have him inside of an actual setting to show you guys what that looks like. So this is my primary character. I wanted the brother wearing this suit. And right here, you can upload a custom scene. So for right here, I uploaded the actual scene that I wanted the brother in. I dragged this to 4. Then I went down here, talked to the agent. I said, I my character wearing the image B outfit standing in front of the house in image C. This is image A, image B, image C, image D. Everything kind of goes in order like that, all right? So I said, hey, I need my image character wearing the image B outfit standing in front of the house in image C, full view of him. So you would need to add the pose and shoes. So the image that I use right here, as you guys can see, it doesn't have any shoes, all right? But I wanted a full view image because the image that I was carrying here, I didn't want him up close to the camera. I wanted to see his whole body. So I told the agent what I wanted. It gave me what I wanted here. I didn't even have to go back and forth. It generated the master instruction here, guys. And as you guys can see, it put him right in the scene, gave him the pants, the bottom part of the pants, and the shoes. I didn't even say what type of shoes that it's supposed to have because it's the way that I built the agent. It understands fashion. It understands all of that. And then it put the character, it looks like took that picture right in front of the house, guys. I stuck him right in there. That's how we did that. All right. Over here, I'll show you how to do that. Thing here, this is an example of doing, if you guys want to do some real estate adverts, this is one of the things I'm really pushing in my community right now is, of course, we're global on the internet, but guys, don't forget about your local markets with these tools that we're building with AI. So one of the things I'm pushing in my community is to get out there and try to get those real estate contracts because, realtors are always looking to have adverts created. They always want to have themselves on different posters, flyers, bulletins, all of that type of stuff like that. Real estate is a great market for a tool like this. If you guys are creating AI twins, whether you decide to get my app or you're doing it with some other app, this is just caveat here, all right? Real estate agencies and realtors, prime market for this type of stuff that we're doing with these AI twins. So for this one, same character here. I didn't even upload a image here. The only thing I did here is the prompt that I wanted to use here had an image in it. Now, the way that this app works is this. It prioritizes your face here. So even if this prompt has an actual character face in it, it'll ignore any of that. So basically, if you find a prompt over there on Facebook, if you find a prompt that you purchase from Etsy or any of that, guys, you can copy and paste that prompt in here, and it'll transfer character's face to that particular scene. And if it trips on that, all you got to do is go in here and tell the agent, hey, I found this prompt. I want to use this prompt, but I want to make sure that my character is in there. And the agent will actually go in here and do it for you. I'll show you guys that in a minute. All right, and you guys can see, same thing. This was a prompt that I found over there on Facebook. I just ran it in here, guys. This would be great real estate marketing material right here. All right. And then let's see here. All right. Then you can do, I want to show you guys what the different art styles that it can do in here. So in this one here, I uploaded my primary character here. I wanted her wearing this outfit, but here I wanted to use the Archer style. This is one of the custom styles that you can select in here for the way you want your images. I have Family Guy, Rick and Morty. I got so much stuff in here. And everything is categorized in here too, so it makes sense. We got your anime and manga in here. You got, let's see, you can scroll down. We got video game and pop culture. We have photorealism and cinematic. I even have one dedicated to magazine cover layout. We got illustration and comic art. You guys can just look through here and see this, and it'll do it, all right? So for this one here, I uploaded this outfit. I don't think I said podcast studio right here. I don't think I selected anything else. I wanted 4 images. So the only thing I told the agent, because I like the agent to generate my prompts down here, because the way the instructions, I don't have to go in here and do it. Now you can manually type in this box, guys. If you want to type in here, you can do that, but I very seldom do that. I just let the agent do it. So I said update my art directed prompt. I want her standing at the desk. Sitting at the desk. Because I had generated the first image and she wasn't sitting at the desk. So I came back and told the agent what I wanted. Great choice, because what I did was at first I just selected podcast studio, had her on the image, and then when I generated, I didn't put a pose in there really for what I wanted her doing. All right, right here, if you notice, the pose was empty. So the first set of images, she was just standing up inside of the actual office, which I didn't want. So I told the agent, update my directive. So down here, there was nothing here when I generated the first image. So then I came back and say, hey, update my directive prompt. I want her sitting at the desk. All right. So what it did was it looked through here. It got all the details, gave me the information, then I generated. And as you guys can see, now it's in a cartoon style, wearing the same outfit All the lines are clean. And you get the same assets down here that you can get there. All right. But this one, this was a prompt that I found over, I think Abby had put this prompt out. It was cool. I'm like, man, I wonder if the app can do it. Guys, for this one here, all I did was copy and paste the prompt in. I didn't do anything. I didn't use the agent. I didn't do nothing. All I did was copy and paste this prompt in. But as you guys can see in here, it has information in here about someone else. But because the app prioritizes this image here, when it's generated, it came out like this. It didn't look like the person in the prompt. It looks like this. And that's how these images came out. This is just a prompt. That's it, guys. I didn't do nothing. All I did was copy that prompt in, select how many images that I wanted right here, and then the app did all the rest of the work. That's how I did it. All right. And then after I generated that for you guys, I came back. I said, cool, let's turn this into a coloring book. I used that same prompt, but this time what I did was I had the prompt. But what I did was I told the agent, I updated to a coloring book page for the directive. All right. So right here, you have an option where you can do coloring book pages in here right here too. If you click right here, you can do custom coloring book line art mode. You click right here. You got a ton of different coloring book art styles in here you can do. I just clicked the standard one right here. Let the agent know what I wanted it to do. One conversation, it did it, updated the prompt in here, and then it generated that same scene looking like this, guys. Super efficient, fast. You're not going back and forth wrestling with prompts. You're just telling that you want, and it's doing everything for you. That's how it works. I could have changed the aspect. Think this is a full coloring book, guys. You can create a cover with one and then come in and create your inner pages with the other one. All right. That's one thing it can do. Here, this is showing you guys how you can create your own actual avatar. So for here, I didn't upload an image here. I click right here to generate with AI. This is what I did, but I didn't put my own prompt in here. So I went down here and I just told the agent, hey, I need a prompt for my main character, realistic Asian on white background headshot. It put all of that together. It knew what to do. It gave me the prompt. So if you guys love prompts, it'll give you prompts too. So if you want to create prompts, just say, hey, I want a prompt for this, and you can take it over there to Nano Banana, Chat GPT, whatever you want. You can get prompts out of here too. All right. And then it gave me this prompt. I copied and pasted that prompt in here, and I said generate base twin. And then that's the image that it gave me back here, guys. The whole thing is to cut the cord of subscriptions as much as possible. With the ability to build these apps with vibe coding, you can build now what you need, what you want, all right? And over here, just some fun stuff to show you guys what you can do with this. This was another prompt that I found over there. It was pretty cool. I said, hey, update the prompt below for my character's image here. The original prompt had like this guy in it, and there was a lot of male-oriented wording in there. All I told it was update the prompt below for my character image A. So guys, that's how you use prompts in here. Also, if you want to just really nail it in, you just copy and paste whatever prompt you had in here. You tell the agent, update the prompt below for my character image, and it'll do everything for you. And then these images came out like that. You guys may have saw this prompt over there on Facebook, but that's how you use those prompts inside of your guys, like that. All right. Then I think I got one more thing. This was a little fun little thing that I did right here. This was another character that I uploaded. I want to try something really cool. Another prompt that I found did this little ink sketch style. It handles fonts and all of that too. I put that prompt in. I should have told her I didn't tell her I wanted to be wearing this outfit right here. I just ran the prompt as is right here, and it came out looking like this here because that was in the prompt. I should have told her I wanted the outfit in there, but that's the way it came out. All right. And let's see what else I got here. So that's y'all hold on, buddy. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. All right. Let's see, guys. And that's pretty much it. Let me go back and look at the image that we generated here. And that's her standing on the actual TED Talk stage. That was that prompt that we ran before I started showing you guys all of the other images here. Let me click back through this. That's one right there. And then that's the second one. As you guys can see, she's on the TED Talk stage. She's wearing the exact outfit that I wanted right here. I think all I told it was, let's see. I said TED Talk stage. She is talking to the crowd. And then I think I told the agent in here that I wanted it to do a few little things up in here. And then it generated the actual image up here. All right. Let me see. All right. I think that's pretty much it for my presentation. unless you guys got any questions on any of this. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. All right,
No,
that's pretty much it. That's pretty
I
much
think
it.
this was definitely a thorough walkthrough of all the I didn't know that it had all those capabilities. You know, I'd seen a couple, I watched you do
Mhm.
your thing, but it has way more capabilities than I even thought that it had. For anyone who is creating and getting ready to do client work, this is a wonderful app to work with. It has all the abilities for you to be able to nail down their twin and be able to place them, especially like the day we went through and you talked about using it for real estate agents. There's tons of real estate agents out there that would love to, they can't be at every property, right? They can't
Mhm.
go out to every property and shoot every property, but you can now take them, the clothing, the property, and place them there and have them talk about the property by using his app. It's really great, like for dentists who want to do something. For there's tons of businesses, and like you said, don't forget your local business people. There's tons of people out there that are looking for this particular type of service, but they want it to look aesthetically a certain way. He's able to give you in the app the ability to change their no deadpan looks. That was one of my favorite thing that he was able to do, is you're now able to have emotion in the faces of the twins that you are using through the app and creating through the app. The idea in the Foursquare that you, when you're doing product shots, that you have multiple angles of product shots. Any of you guys who are doing videos understand that we are prompting for this over and over and over and over again, and now you are able to have those product shots right there, download them, put them in your any of the video generators of your choice, that I don't have to think about this any longer. All of those things are here, ready for me to do what I need to do right there inside of the app. So I don't have to prompt for that, because when I'm doing, and I'm doing multiple scenes for my video. So being able to just have those four, well, it actually ends up being five automatically, because you have your twin and you have the four scenes. Now I can just move throughout my production time, and I can make my production time a lot smaller because I am now currently using this app. um, I love how you were able to get such a realistic look, especially the guys, right? The guys and some of the other ones can look a little bit plastic, to say the least. But with this one, you've solved the problem of realistic skin, having them look masculine, the dressing, and the idea that your app knew fashion and knew how to coordinate that thing, and it just looks amazing. And there's a couple things that I noticed, if you guys didn't notice, because he has the background that he has, the shadows are there
Mhm.
when he's
Exactly.
using it. The shadows are there, so it doesn't look like some AI thing just plopped inside. Hey, here's the AI twin in front of this building. No shadow, no. It had no thought of what you need for it to look realistic. This app does. So I really, really loved what you've done with the app, Adrian. You've done an amazing job with it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So much.
They
Does
say
anybody have
prepare
any?
to be sick of them in the chat. They say prepare to be sick of them. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, this man, this vibe coding is a thing, guys. You know what I'm saying? And don't want to give a shameless plug. If you guys want to learn this stuff, guys, you guys have seen me on TRM, so you kind of know what my energy is, guys. This is the stuff that we're doing. I'm in my lane. This is what I do. And if you guys want to
Mhm.
really learn this stuff, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So, free tier over there in my community. Come on in, guys. I got a module I'm dropping that's dealing with vibe coding. Um, you guys can see the stuff that you can do right now. You can wake up one morning and create what you want with these apps, guys. I can't even tell you guys the amount of revenue that you can generate. That's my thing, that you can generate building apps, and the gatekeepers are gone. When you guys really learn how to do this, Make sure you guys learn it from somebody that know what they're doing. Because if you partner up with somebody that don't know what they're doing, you can get yourself in trouble if you're doing this wrong, especially when you're dealing with people's personal information. When you start going to the next level, taking credit cards, email addresses, and all that stuff like that, guys, please make sure that you get with, if it's not me, please make sure that you're dealing with somebody that can really teach you how to do this stuff the right way, because you can get in a lot of trouble doing this if you do it the wrong way, because you don't want to put stuff out there that people can come back that know how to do this stuff like me, and then they can come in and hack your app, get all your data, your customers' data, and stuff like that. So we'll be starting out over there with Google. Easiest way to learn. Be showing you guys how to set up the gate that I set up. Show you guys how to deploy your app. So we're going to be doing all those things over there. The app, I know it looks like it can do a lot, but don't worry, I still got that training over there for the app. So that's one of the main things. I wanted to have ongoing training. So I didn't want to just put the app out there and, hey, go out there and figure it out on your own. I want to make sure that you guys are trained up on how to use the app. Make sure you guys have a ton of prompts that you can use, all that type of good stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying they are shocked at the pricing of
Right.
this. What he's trying to tell you guys is that he has taken his ability to be able to create in a secure way, and he's showing you what is possible, right? He's going to start you guys out. You're going to make money off of doing this for local businesses. And then if you're win and you will be ready, you will learn how to create this in a secure way. He's already
Mm,
shown you that he teaches how to do secure um, GPTs. This is a whole other step because there's a lot of other layers that go to this. You don't want anybody hitting your app over and over again, where it's going to cost you money in the background for your API calls and all of that stuff. He's going to show you guys how to do. But the first step is to go ahead, start your business, start with local or online, and get all of and have all of them come to you to create this. You know, there are people out there in the corporate sphere that need this right now. And with you being able to have this app, you're able to do all of those things. So Martine has already dropped the link to the app in the chat. But Adrian, we have questions about your community. I think Martine is going to drop that in the chat as well. The link.
okay, I just saw it. I just
Okay,
dropped it in
perfect.
there too. I just saw it in there.
So
Okay.
it's he's I see that he's just dropped that into the chat. So just make sure that you guys are going about this and really, really doing this the right way. Yes, the prompts are great, but when you have a whole entire system that you're able to create right then and there from an image and then get all of the different aesthetics from that one particular image, this is a whole complete system, and that is what he's offering you. So
Yeah.
Adrian, we really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you
You
guys,
did
as always.
a fantastic, once again created a fantastic app. Remember, his community is free to join. And the thing about Adrian is he gives you training on what you purchase. So you're just not out there going, how does this work? How do I do this? And he also gives you monetization strategies as well. So he really, really helps you learn how to do the things that you need to learn how to do, use the products that he gives you. And he also teaches you how to move past just the learning phase, but actually the monetization phase.